for the most part.
I sit on the floor a lot.
Yeah, I sit on the floor a lot.
I don't know why. My lower back used to be on fire. Like down my legs and stuff. And the only thing that helped for a long time was like I would just lay on the ground.
Yeah.
And then I got used to it.
And you're like, I like it down there.
Yeah, and then I had a little tiny child who was always like...
They're like, I'm already here. You might as well.
Yeah, and then Marley is like ground level. She used to be aerial. She used to be able to jump on. She can't get on the couch.
Yeah,
That's so sad.
I know.
She like pops. She looks at me. And I
she's
usually...
like, I ain't doing anymore. You got the rest?
Yeah, well, normally I pick her up, but I feel a little too bougie because like I don't want her on the couch because I got a new couch. And I'm just like, don't fuck it up.
I mean...
She's starting to leak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
like,
don't want leakage on fabric.
Yeah, she leaks a little bit, like a little sometimes. The other day, I don't know if I told you that. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
I got lots of stuff to talk about.
Yes.
She was... we started the podcast?
Yes.
That was the shortest pre-ramble ever.
What up, podcast folks?
Yeah.
We're here. We're ready and prepared.
Yeah, we took a week off, so I was like, let's talk.
It's like we need things to speak about.
Yeah, I had a cold last week. And it was a kid cold. I don't know if you've ever had a kid cold.
I don't know what it is about kid germs, especially like not being around them. But the second you are, they're like, you're sick now.
Yeah, it was
right now.
Yeah, it was like a regular cold, but it was like a kid cold, so it punched me in the face.
Yeah, happens quick, and you're like tickle, and then you're like, brr.
Yeah, and I had to work a couple hours on Saturday, which is cool. But then I was just like, I was like, I'm a little sick.
I'm gonna go.
And then when I was texting you, I think I was texting you. I was like, I'm a little sick, and I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. And I was like, it's not gonna be fine.
It's not gonna be fine.
I was like, I can't talk.
It's like you don't want to hear like
yeah. I was all hopped up on Alka-Seltzer, man. Which is my favorite cold medicine. I try. I don't take a lot of medicine, but like I don't want.
That one's not a bad one.
Yeah, well, it's like fast acting.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of like. I can't remember if it's aspirin or Tylenol. It's got one of them in there. I can't remember. So it always makes like my face hurts like when it gets congested.
Oh yeah.
It makes it a little less congested, but then like my face stops hurting. So
yeah,
like,
when your face hurts, especially like deep in here, you're just like, this is shitty.
This is stupid.
I want to feel shitty.
What's wrong with my face? It's on there. It's like, don't take more than like 4 in a 24-hour period. I took 4 in like 8 hours.
I mean, just don't take any more in the rest of the hours of the day.
No, I was like, my stomach's bleeding now.
I'm dead. I'm already dead. That's fine.
So anyway, that's why we didn't have a podcast last week. Sorry about that, guys. I tried. It was kind of like impromptu. I got Andre got a cold, and I was like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Days later, I'm fine.
You're like, not fine.
Yeah, man. That Saturday popped up. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, and then Sunday was kind of my fault. That's a little extreme.
Oh, yeah. What's
my mom came.
No, I get it. It's cool, man. When you're loose on plans, like that happens sometimes.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? We'll try again.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it because like I'm not a planner, so like I get it when like it usually always works out. And it's super stress free to like not plan stuff with a not planner.
Yeah,
but sometimes that shit happens,
and then it's like, sorry.
Yeah, but I never get mad at it. It's like, well, we didn't plan that right.
Yeah, well, okay.
We'll do better.
We'll do better this week, and damn, did we do better?
Yeah,
it's a beautiful day.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Already up.
I'm glad you're later than you said you'd be here because I was late.
Oh yeah, I woke up extremely late today.
Yeah,
I mean, I woke up in like my Sarah time.
Yeah, like
which is good.
Like the time you said you were going to be here, I was just eating making breakfast.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not ready.
I was like, you can take your time.
I'm not ready. That's okay. I can always fill my time with stuff. Like it really blows my mind. Like I can get ready. Strong.
Why do they have any pre-bourbon?
Oh, that was a sip.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot that it tastes like that. In the morning
without stuff. Yeah.
Well, then I only drink when you're here.
Yeah.
So like I haven't had like
I mean, it's like podcast drink time.
No, I'm good. I'm down for it.
The day?
No, I'm down for it. It makes playground time really cool.
Like, let's walk to the playground.
Yes, right. We can walk over there.
I surely want to play on that swing.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it. Swings make me nauseous.
Do they really?
Yeah. But after like 5 minutes of like the back and forth, like every time I get like motion sickness, I get really sad because I'm like, as of current, I would never be able to be an astronaut.
Don't say that. You can
rule 1, you can't get motion sickness with the way that we leave the atmosphere right now.
Oh man.
Now, if we have other means of space travel, which we probably do.
Right?
It's out there.
Oh, you know what? This is crazy. This is not bullshit. This is real. So I say it's not bullshit. I can't remember the detail of it.
It's not fake.
Yeah, feel free to Google my vague description of it. There's in some COVID stimulus bill that's in government I don't know, government.
Their black books they sign and shit.
Yeah, I think we went through this. I don't know what the Senate and the House does. I mean, like anything past high school, like social studies, I'm out.
Yeah, I did world history in college, not U.S. history. So I'm kind of like, I can tell you what the Egyptians did.
Yeah, I did world history, and it was all murder and blood.
I mean, yeah.
That's like my teacher's theme for the show. Like, I don't know, like that was like her.
That's where our focus.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, we're barbarians. I get it. But, like, her focus was, like, on blood and murder. Like, she was just pointing out.
Welcome to the U.S. history.
Yeah.
We murdered a lot of people.
And that was world history. But, yes, U.S. history, too. Like, but it was just like, yeah, we suck. Like,
sorry.
We're not that cool.
We're not.
Oh, so in that stimulus bill,
yes.
I read this on up screen with something on, I don't remember. And, some kind of COVID stimulus bill and you know how they like package stuff together? They can't just be like, hey, let's help people out that are struggle busting right now.
Let's throw a few other things. Be like, I need $40 million for some stuff that I'm not going to talk about. Right. But also like, hey, like let's give these people this stuff and all right, let's sign it. And it's like, we're not going to talk about this other deep things that's on the rest of the bill.
Then they fight about it. Like they fight about the minutia, but I don't know. But anyways, before I forget, there's in that bill, there is a provision signed in there if it gets passed where some branch of the government has to release all the information that they have on UFOs.
Oh, yeah. That'd be fun.
That's a real thing. Like that's in like, so you're saying UFOs, like we probably do. Like they have like a build so they'll like disclose. They're not going to disclose it.
I mean,
they might be like, yeah, here's a piece of metal.
We've seen so much other stuff. Like I feel we're pretty desensitized. We'd be like, oh my gosh, be like, all right, yeah, I kind of figured that anyway. So like we'd get over it. I feel like the government thinks that we're like immature 16-year-olds and like we can't handle real life truth. I feel like that's a lot of it. I feel like they're like overprotective parents and how they assume we will react to information that we can't handle things.
They might not be wrong though.
I mean, maybe.
I feel like regular people, but like, man.
But I mean, we all have been 16 and we got fuck over it.
It's true.
You know, it's like give us like real stuff so that we can mentally prepare and move on.
I don't think people can handle it.
We'd be all right.
I'd be really all right with it.
I'd be so all right.
Yeah, but I don't think so, man.
So, I mean,
have you been on Facebook?
I mean, yeah. Have you seen Bernie Sanders? I've been on Facebook.
Dude, I can't get over it. I can't.
So cute.
It's so good. Like I made like 80 of them.
Yeah.
And I say, you know how you can save pictures? I saved like, I didn't save 80. I saved like 14 or 15 of them.
You're like, I love these.
Yeah, man, there's one where he's a Fresh Prince. He's sitting in the Fresh Prince chair. That's so good. That one that was on Joe Rogan's page where he was putting an arm bar on that was probably the best one. That one was super good.
That one was pretty hilarious. I saw that one probably the most.
I read a story like after like this morning that those mittens have you read this?
No.
Oh, so those mittens that he has on, he wears to every fancy political event ever that he's ever been to. That's like cold, I guess, or whatever. I might be wrong on this part, but I think it was a second grade teacher made those for him.
Cute.
Yeah.
He had some big ass hands in second grade.
Yeah, so that's why I think it might not be second grade, but I think I read that. Like it was one of his teachers, like a long time ago, made these mittens for him, and he wears them to every event.
He's like, these are my fucking
mittens.
That's
why Bernie Sanders is the shit, man.
He is really cool.
Dude, I get so behind.
He could have been our president if we fucking got our shit together.
I'm so on.
But
I want to feel the burn so hard.
Feel the burn.
Yeah, I'm so on that one. You know what's crazy? Like I listen to some political stuff because you kind of have to.
Yeah.
I kind of like more like getting into like how effed up they are as opposed to like what they think.
Yeah.
So like, what is it called? Like when the primaries, when there's a whole bunch of Democrats and a whole bunch of Republicans, they're trying to figure out like who's going to be the two awful people who are going to like, you know.
Who's our shitty people that we get to pick.
Yeah. So the Democrats didn't want Bernie Sanders to win. So they left people on that ticket or the thing that would split his votes on purpose. They knew this guy wasn't going to win, but they would split some of the Bernie.
But they kept him there enough just to take points away from him.
Yeah, so some people, like if you vote, like some people of that group would vote for Bernie Sanders. Some people would vote for the other guy or gal. I don't remember who it was. So that way Bernie Sanders wouldn't get that type of vote.
Yeah, it's 12 o'clock in Columbus.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
There's our sirens. I was like, who's talking?
Yeah, I was like,
sorry.
Jesus?
Jesus, we're talking
about aliens. It's like, wait a minute.
It's like, wait, I hear something.
But anyway, so yeah, so like I thought that was messed up. But yeah, I want to feel the burn.
Yeah.
I'm all about Bernie Sanders.
He's a cutie pie.
Now I don't care. I think they all suck, except for Bernie Sanders.
I mean, he might suck. We don't really know him personally.
Well,
he's cute in pictures, but we did some funny stuff.
He's a good meme.
Yeah.
He's a real good meme.
I don't know. I try to be like devil's advocate for everybody. I'm like, you could be awesome. But if it's life that tells you anything, you don't really know people.
That's true.
And it's like, you know, whatever.
I feel like
You can be a shitty person. It's all right.
Yeah, if you guys hear a siren, everything's okay.
It's fine.
we live in a military town.
They have to test things.
Yeah, but I feel like there's like there's different flavors of the same poison.
Yeah.
I'm just like
with people in general and their personalities.
Well, man, I don't want to be nihilistic and say all people, but like politicians.
Oh yeah.
Like when I was looking at Trump and wow, that's a lot of stuff going on. And Trump and Biden. There you go. Sorry, I forgot. I was just like, you guys are awful.
Yeah.
These old white awful people, old white dudes.
I had a bunch of teachers who like literally wrote in for their ballots that they were going to go for Dolly Parton.
That's a good one.
Yeah, she's done more for the education system. All this kind of good stuff. There's like apparently a program. I had a first grade teacher tell me about this. There's a book program that you can sign up for. It's completely free. And if you have a, little motherfucker, she'll send you books.
Just give you books?
One a month until they're like 6 years old.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. Dolly Parton. Good lady.
Good lady, man. Who would have known?
Good lady. She'll take no shit. And she's like, I'm going to help out people.
You ever watch any of her movies from like the late 80s or early 90s?
I haven't seen any of the movies, but I've definitely listened to some of her music. I had a friend who was like really about Cher and Dolly Parton, and I was like, I ain't mad at it.
I'm kind of the opposite. I haven't listened to any of their music because I boycott country music just as a principle, which I probably shouldn't do because that's stupid.
I mean,
I just don't dig it in general, but I shouldn't boycott it.
You can boycott Walmart.
I don't.
Oh,
but I don't go there often.
Yeah, it's awful.
I try to go anywhere like where I could walk. If I could walk here, like this is what
You're
I do.
like, who needs a car?
I try not to drive at all. If I can, I guess
You should like at least roll your car from like a little down the driveway so your tires don't get funky spots.
That's true. But I mean, I have to drive to work and stuff.
Well, I know, but you go to work. Well, I guess you go to work now more often.
Kinda. I work like 3 days a week.
Yeah, it's the best, isn't it?
It's not too bad, man.
Dude, that 6 week work life, that ain't fucking it.
6 week?
6 day work week?
Oh, no. That ain't. Yeah, man, I got almost all the factors of my life pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Except for the financial one. I'm kind of broke.
Yeah, well.
But I'm not, I got like food and stuff. So
you got paychecks coming.
Yeah. So, but like I have a lot of time to, man, all I do is just read and listen to people smarter than me talk to me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think about it. I need to start writing my thoughts down because like, I don't know if you ever have this, like you're reading something or listening to something, like you have like, it feels like the cosmos or like.
Yeah, I have to write where I was reading if I'm going to do anything.
To me, what happens is sometimes I feel like some sort of like spiritual energy hits me and I'm like,
hey, Chris.
Yeah. And then
here's your thoughts. And then like help you and guide you with that.
Yeah. And then like I connect 17 things that I never would have connected. And I'm like, oh, I'm never going to forget that. It's going to change my life. And then like an hour later, I'm like, oh man. Like you lose that state of mind.
That's what DMT is, man. It's like, oh, I fucking understand the cosmos and the theory of everything and how life is. And then you're like, huh? What happened? It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah. You don't remember any of it?
I mean, not to where you can articulate it.
It's just more of like a feeling or an impression.
I mean, and it's crazy too, because you can even see it. I mean, it's it's worse than a feeling than like the word being on like the tip of your tongue and you just cannot articulate it. Like you see it and just like from here to here is like, nah. Maybe
it's just because, that's kind of the difference, like different than being almost remembering, like you're maybe remembering it's too impactful and too much to say with words.
Yeah. I mean, it transcends words. That's the whole point.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's super. Good. Yeah. It's cool. It's India like Hinduism. Yeah, sorry, I'm bad at vocabulary. I like ideas, but I'm really bad at vocabulary.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, like the way they look at God or their gods. They have many gods there, if I'm correct. But the way they look at God is like we're different. Like us as people and gods are different. Mm-hmm. Like the idea to try to ask, like a lot of times, like in our society, like we're the West, we're in the West.
Where are we?
Like when you, like sometimes people will say like when you die and go to heaven, you could talk to God or whatever, and he'll tell you everything, like how it all works.
Yeah.
Like, they get the answers.
Yeah.
I would like to have answers, but like, that's like a thing that's taught to little kids. It was taught to me as a little kid when I would ask crazy questions.
Yeah. Be like, God will tell you when you die.
Yeah. That was a thing.
Oh,
like my grandparents used to say that. So apparently I've been asking crazy questions for a while.
It's good. Start him young.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to do that with him. Right?
Yeah.
I don't give him that answer. I try to answer the question, but so in Hinduism or in India, they that notion of getting God to explain how to be God to you is foreign.
Yeah.
They're like, that doesn't make sense.
And they're like, that's silly. Why would you do that?
Yeah, and it was kind of explained to me, like, if you were like, if that was going to like be a real conversation that you would have, that their God, I can't remember which one, I can't remember right now, what would say to you, like, do you need to know how to breathe?
Yeah.
Do you need to know how your heart beats? It still does it.
Yeah.
And like, so why are you worried about it? Like that would be the,
like, why are you stressing?
You don't need to know that. Like, that's not for us. You know what I mean? Or for you. Right. And then I forgot who taught, I was listening to someone teach this. I can't remember who it was, but they're like, they kind of explained it like, if like how they looked at it, like their idea of God, if they were going to explain it to you, that language is so limited.
Yeah.
That it would take so many pages and fill up so many books and fill up so many libraries across the universe to tell you how tell you the secrets of humanity that you wouldn't be able to read it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think words are very impactful. I think spelling is important. Like how they like manifest in this third dimension, like, you know, on like I don't like the word new agey, or just like thinking of words and language and their impact and the vibration and the spells of spelling of words. And it's important to know where your words come from. Is it new agey or is it old agey? Old age. I mean, it's definitely old agey. Yeah, it's definitely a thingy, but I don't know why. Yeah, I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago and they're like, oh, you're real new agey. And I'm like, that's a stupid phrase. It's a stupid phrase. And I was like, but I'm talking about ancient things. Yeah. So I was ancient future. And that's a Sam phrase. Yeah, that's a cool phrase. Yeah. But I was just like, how is it new agey when it's like literally like, it's oldie. It's old agey. Like, I'm trying to go back in time and see what they were talking about. But I thought that was I think it's crazy that as like a now people, we think that we have just only escalated and evolved. I was like, you have no idea how sophisticated some of these ancient civilizations were. Yeah, well, their view was different. Like or just even on like actual technology, they think they had nothing. They think they didn't have electricity. They had forms of electricity. Like if you go into ancient Egypt, like there's like water aquifers underneath the Great Pyramids. And that's exactly how Nikola Tesla set up his coils. It's exactly how the pyramids are made. If you go into the Great Pyramids, like you can, it's a machine. Yeah. I was watching, they had water, they had stuff. Like it wasn't just like, oh, we're out here digging in the sticks. Like they're Mormons or something. That wasn't quite like that. They had cells and batteries and electricity of some sort. And that the craziest thing to me is like how much they knew about the sky. Well, they could fucking see it. It's true, but they had everything. Like they could line like giant monoliths up to like the summer solstice or winter solstice, or like the longitude and latitude of the Great Pyramids is the distance between the sun and the Earth. It's crazy, man. Also, update on knowledge stuff. There is a little bit of discrepancy with like time, the whole like Age of Aquarius thing. Some of it say it started in 2012. Some of people are saying it's now, but the age of Aquarius has nothing to do with like astrology. It has something to do with like the axis rotation of how we navigate our North Star. I don't know. It's moving. It's in the Aquarius constellation. Like as it's rotating with its axis, it's in the age of Aquarius as opposed to it moved out of Pisces and is in Aquarius now. Man, I started to try to like learn on that after it happens like every 2,000 years or so. So obviously high 2,000 year place time. Let's do it. Right now we're in the 21st century. I was trying to like learn up on that because we were talking about it and like it's a subject that's cool, but like I don't know a lot about. Yeah. So I was I need to learn on that. If you want to learn, my favorite person that teaches like from the neonatal chart that we talked about last time. Her name is Deborah Silverman. She is an astrologist and don't look at me. I got nothing. Sorry. I got nothing, man. Oh, what's her other title? A socio-psychologist. A socio? I think she said something like a SO something. Okay. I have to read, but her name is Debbie Silverman. She's great. Whoosh, that's magical, isn't it? Yeah, that's my son playing Nintendo. Yeah. Hang on a second. Hey, Andre. Andre. Yeah. Andre. He's acting like he can't hear me. Sorry, guys, but I can hear his Nintendo. Like it's crazy. Whoosh. Yeah, it's this magic noise. It's like we pressed one of those squares but didn't. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on a second. Well, you don't have to hold on. I'm not going to edit it out or anything. Andre. Dre. Turn the switch down, bro. You turn it down? Yeah. Thanks, bro. Sorry, my son's
it was like sounded really. We were talking about trippy stuff. It's like, wow, 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 wow. Sorry for that little pause. Hope you got a little drink in while I was loud speaking to my son.
Hi.
I mean, I was going to tell you. So I was like trying to learn on that stuff, right? Because I was trying to see if I was the nipples. Sagittarius, because you're trying to see where. Because I was like, what does that mean? So I was like,
let's answer that question.
Yeah. So I was trying to like figure that out. So I didn't learn about it at all. I went down another rabbit hole. So I was on YouTube, and like one of my favorite guys that I listen to on YouTube is Alan Watts. He's that guy. He's my Buddhist teacher right now from afar. I love this dude. Like,
Alan Watts is a great guy.
Man, he's got like, I don't want to say thousands, but maybe 1,000 hours of lecture on YouTube. So it's like too much. Like it's too much to even get into.
That's how Bill Donahue is. He's a really great one too. He's got a lot of content.
Gotcha. I mean, you told that last time, and I was like,
there's two Bill Donahues. One is the other guy's not a politician. Like this guy looks like he's teaching in a you're the thighs. That's where you are.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm
the good meat.
Yeah, that good meat.
At least it's not who's the wiener?
Scorpio. Duh.
I don't know why it's duh, but it's funny.
Yeah.
I was close. I was a couple days away from being a Scorpio, I think.
Yeah. You like right there in the cusp, yeah. I'm like calves and ankles. Aquarius is always so funny. Like it doesn't have one planet. Like it's Saturn and Uranus. And it's such a silly, which I mean, obviously I get it like cosmically in myself. Like I claim an Aquarius. I just do.
Give me
I've always, I mean, there's some stuff on the internet. And it's like, that ain't me, but like, I'm not an emotional person or like,
no, I wouldn't say that about you. You're pretty like melancholy, chill.
Yeah. If anything, I'm a little morbid with like some humor.
Yeah. That's what I meant by melancholy, chill.
Yeah. Like, huh. But mostly, I don't know what like I probably watched like way too much vampire immortal stuff as a child, crime scene things as a young human, and then being told like, yeah, just rip their eyes out. It's fine. That's how you get them off of you. Shit you have to teach daughters, which is bananas.
It's true. I think I was like growing up, I was fairly numb, and then I turned into some sort of like weird empathic person.
I like the idea of being an empath.
No, you don't. You don't.
I don't. I'm not that.
It's tough.
Like, man. I can relate. I can sympathize all day long, but I don't empathize. Like, I don't take that shit. Yeah. Like, I don't take it on. Like, if you're sad, like
you're good.
I ain't gonna feel your sadness.
Like, after we leave, you're like, I'm gonna go party.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like,
yeah, I feel good.
Do I get teary with some things? Like, especially like daddy things. Like, I love my dad. I love my mom too, but like parents dying, you know, dogs coming home and seeing soldiers. Like, that's like,
that is the best, man.
Like, I mean, I have feelings, but like, I don't take on other people's emotions. Like, I can walk into a room and be like, I don't care what you feel, 'cause I'm fucking fine.
Yeah. So being an empath, I hate that word, an empath. Yeah. I hate that word. It's kind of like,
unless you're like Counselor Troy on Star Trek. She's an empath.
Yeah. I still hate the word. Yeah. I don't know why I hate the word. I knew this crazy girl that kept saying she was an empath.
Yeah. And so it just like has this negative taste on you.
Yeah. I just hate it. But like when I walk in, like if I walk into a room, I can feel it. Now I've got good. 'Cause like so many interactions of like doctoring people and shit. Like I've got good at like, I don't take it home anymore. Yeah. But as soon as I walk in the room, I can feel it. Yeah. Like I feel these things coming.
I can feel energies, but like I don't need to take it.
I feel emotion.
Yeah.
Like
I don't feel people's emotions.
That's why I usually connect with people so well. Like I walk in, like boom, I can connect with it. I can feel this energy, like this emotion that's coming off.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, let's get to your level. Let's meet you where you're at.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. I hate it. It's like, always have like people's.
You should keep like salt and lemon juice on you.
I should.
Well, salt's like for protection.
It'd be delicious.
Like a fun little witchy thing is like if you're feeling really clumsy or you feel like you've broken a lot of things, you should sleep with a little container of salt next to your bed.
Is it going to change color?
No, it just kind of, it's just a purifier and just kind of can transmute some of that shit and just get it out of you. Get the fuck out of here.
Isn't that why Himalayan salt lamps are awesome? Mm-hmm. I think.
They ionize.
Yeah.
They're an ionizer of a space.
Yeah, that's too sciencey. I was thinking about witch stuff. That's not witchy.
It's pretty damn witchy.
No, like but they don't advertise pink salt lamps as witchy. They're like ionizing energy for.
Yeah, but witches are still like, I see you. I see you with your birthday candle blowing out, making a wish, blowing out a candle. Like they see you.
I know what you're doing.
I know what you're doing. I see your stuff.
Witches like, I see you, science.
Yeah, like witches are just like.
We've been doing that for years.
I see all your things. Like. I don't need my 2 cents. I know where I come from.
Man, I don't have much like super experienced with witchy people, like hardcore. I shouldn't say that. Like people that like wear it on their sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But like, I was also in high school.
Yeah.
To keep this in perspective. So this one chick. Oh man, I can't remember who it was. I wouldn't say her name anyway.
Yeah. lady person.
Yeah, lady person. Like I shunned her. I shunned this lady person. For whatever reason, I don't even remember. And then like she put a spell on me. I made a big to do about it, and it was like there was like drawings and like sigils.
Yeah. Sigils are like the little symbols and things, which are different than runes, which are very like specific to like Nordic culture.
I don't really know if she was a witch, but I think she just might have had issues in her brain.
I mean, I think anyone can be a witch if you like. This are the things I'm going to do now.
That's true. She also, I thought about this a long time. Came to my house and like rang the doorbell, and then left a teddy bear down there with its head ripped off.
What'd you do to this bitch?
Nothing.
Oh,
nothing.
Maybe she just liked you. And was like,
yeah, that was it. I was just like, no, thank you. Yeah, and I'm not mean. I wasn't like making fun of her or anything. I was just kind of like, I think someone. No, you know what? It was so passive of a thing. Because this is in high school, I feel like stupid even saying it out loud. You know what I mean? Someone came up and was like, "Oh, this person likes you," and I was like, I don't like her. It's cool," or something like that. It was like an intermediary, like someone.
Oh yeah.
So
that's odd.
So I didn't even come on and be like, "Ew."
Yeah, and be like, "Nah, I'm cool," and they were like, "He said no."
Yeah, it was just that, which I guess happens in high school, and then I got all this like witch stuff on me.
I mean, it happens.
I kind of took it on. I was like, man, do I feel kind of weird? Like for like a week, man.
Like, am I okay?
Man.
Like, is that what I feel?
Yeah. And then like there were like people would come up like, oh man, I'll call her Jane. That's not her name.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, Jane's studying in her Wicca book and all this stuff. And I was like, oh man,
it's like she's gonna fuck me up.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, she left a broken teddy bear at my house, man. They're like, what? I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I've done some candle magic. It's all right.
No, it's cool. I mean, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
Except for what was on me. Yeah, speaking of high school weird things, I remember this. I do remember this person's name. I'm not gonna say it. They called me, right? They got my phone number, which is cool. Like it was like house phone. Like, you know what I mean? Like
stuck to a wall with a cord.
Yeah, called the house, man. Called the house. It was in 10th grade. And she was like, "Hey, this is Jane, right? I was like, hey, what's up?" You know what I mean? You called my house, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's cool. I was like, hey, what's
I'm
up?
here.
And she was like talking, and she was like, yeah, your name is this. Your middle name is this. And I was like, yeah, that's weird. And she's like, this is the weirdest part. And I was also like, how old are you in 10th grade? Like, I couldn't drive. I was 15.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, right. So like, and she was like, this is your social security number. And she knew my social security number. And I was like, I think that is it. I was like, I don't even know my social security number.
Yeah, that took me a long time to figure out.
Yeah, right. Especially when you're 15. Like, I don't need it for anything.
Yeah. I don't do important things by myself.
Yeah, but that's weird. And I was just like, how do you know that? And like, apparently, like, she broke into the office and got it into a file.
Oh, man. I romanticize being like a childhood deviant.
Yeah, but like
I did things, I never snuck out. I just didn't say where I was actually going.
But like, why would you tell me what type of conversation?
Be like, I found out this information. I had to tell you. I don't know. That's a skill you really have to get over, is to like be able to hold information and not tell it or gossip about it. Like that's a skill.
Well, yeah, especially if you're doing something ratchet.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I did this really fucked up shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least she only told you and didn't put it on the internet, put it on MySpace or something.
I don't think that
MySpace wasn't even a thing. That wasn't
yet. Man. Like, you couldn't Google.
Oh, yeah. Google was like 94, I think.
Oh, then you could Google.
Yeah, I think Google was 94. Yeah,
because I started high school in 96. So this was 98.
I moved to Georgia in 96.
Boom sauce.
I was 3.
There you go. And then, yeah, so I didn't even know what the power of a social security. Maybe she did. Maybe she's got credit cards.
Yeah.
Boost my credit score. Pay that bill on time. I don't know.
Keep that revolving credit, yo.
Yeah, keep it going, man. I don't know. Oh, so I was sorry. I don't know how I got on that, but I haven't thought about those stories in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Anyways, I have no idea how we got on that. That was just crazy. So I had a lot of crazy stuff like that happen to me in high school.
My high school was pretty vanilla.
Was it? No,
my experience. High
school was the greatest time of my life.
Yeah, me and Sam were talking about this yesterday or last night. He was going off about something. He was like the best of both worlds. Like he did fun, deviant stuff. Fun. He got in trouble. It's fine. But he also was like in theater, in band, in, extracurricular things, did great in school. So I thought that was fun. I was like church until like from like 2nd grade until high school, and like hung out with the same group of people, did the same kind of thing. was pretty innocent.
It was like, that was a cool.
And then 9th grade hit.
You're like, what?
We ain't going to go into those details. What? Shit.
You're like,
I grew up real fast in 4 years.
You probably get introduced to a lot of different people. Especially
Yeah.
if you're like in the same like pods.
Yeah.
Like throughout your whole life. Of people,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
you're like,
you know how it is. Like you'd, all right, be like, church ain't it for me right now.
Yeah.
A lot of things that like felt very discrepant in my life. 16-year-old me, if you think I have a potty mouth now, wow.
that's what you always say.
Man, I was like, fuck. Motherfuck was like every other word.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're,
Fuck that. Fuck them. That's fucking stupid.
yeah, but if I don't want to use the word repressed because that's too like hardcore. But if you're, man, I don't know, the right word, slightly repressed.
Yeah, and it didn't come from my parents. That came from myself.
Yeah, or church.
My
like that.
my parents didn't make me go to church. I did that by myself.
Okay, well, you repress yourself. You know what I mean? Like if you're in, like,
Well, I was just respectful because I was like, I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to embarrass your family because like my best friend was the preacher's daughter. Like I didn't want to be an embarrassment's a strong word. I didn't want to have anyone judge her by being my friend.
I got you.
So I was good because I had like good influence and I was like, she's a really good person. I should meet up to those standards.
well, that's well. There's a lot of benefit to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like she's still a great friend. I still talk to her very often. We were in each other's weddings. Like she's the best human being.
It's probably another reason why you're not a shitty person right now.
Oh, she's 100% the reason I am not a shitty person.
Yeah, you need
like
people like that to make sure you're not a shitty person.
Are you kidding? In 2nd grade. Like how old are you in 2nd grade? 6, 7, 8?
8.
She was like, you want to come to church with me? Met me at a car riders. I was like, yeah.
I do want that.
And then the rest of elementary, rest of middle school, like went to missionary camp, did all this really fun stuff,
That's
like
awesome.
hung out on the weekends. It was some good times.
Yeah, you never know what type of person you probably still be awesome. But you never know.
I could have been. Oh no, I probably would have been a really shitty person.
Yeah, you never know
because I
man.
have that potential.
We all do.
I
you
have
know?
that potential.
Yeah, we all do, and like it's kind of crazy when you think about like the interactions. I don't think they're random, but like the circumstances or interactions of your life that can kind of like dictate what path you go down. Like,
Yeah.
oh, if I would have zigged here, that would have been
You remember me
crazy,
talking
man.
about my friend who does like the missions works with like refugees?
Yeah,
That's
you have
Hannah.
The
That's
shrine.
her.
You have a shrine.
Yeah. my
Friend shrine.
years of collective stuff.
Yeah, you're not like putting spells on her. Or anything.
No. She's doing so much good. Her and her husband both. They're good folks.
It's so good.
It's so good. I'm so proud of them. Like I talk about her all the time.
Yeah, you got to be a good person. Like I've had a lot of. I don't know how to word this. That's not weird. I've had a lot like the past couple of weeks of female energy try to enter my life.
Be like, hey man, what's up? Isn't it weird how that happens?
Yeah, and which I'm not against, but at the same time, I was like, whoa.
I was like, wow.
I was like,
where were you coming from?
I'm like, man,
Coming out the woodwork, man.
I was like, I'm a little particular now. No, thank you. There's
Very fair.
yeah, I'm like, there's a lot of, I'm talking about being a bad person. I don't know if they're bad people or not, but like a lot of weird shit, man. I'm just like, oh, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel with like a person that you're going to bring into like a more small, intimate space, like we have the right now to be like, hell fucking no.
No, I'm like, man.
No.
I'm like, I'm at peace. My waters are calm.
Yeah. I don't need no stones thrown in my
Yeah,
shit. I don't need no ripples. I don't know
Yeah.
how long that's going to last.
It's like, if you want to come wade in here, that's cool, but no cannonballs, man. Like, man, everything's cool.
Be like, you want to chill on the outside. Like, let me see who you are. You got dirty feet. Don't be stepping in my water with dirty feet.
Yeah, I can't. There's a bunch of funnies. I don't know if I want to. I don't want to say them.
That's fair. You don't have to.
Well, yeah, because it's making fun of people.
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. But
That's probably like my biggest, like, good job, Sarah. Just, you know, how like, you know, being a massage therapist and kind of working in that frame, people trust you with a lot of stuff. And I really like take professionalism to heart. So if you tell me something like on like your paid time, I will take that shit to the grave.
yeah, this
And
isn't
I'm
paid
just-
time. This is chill.
I know.
Okay.
But just in general, like I have stuff I have in my knowledge bank that isn't mine to share.
Yeah.
And it takes it doesn't take a lot. It's not like I'm struggling with it every day, but it does take a level up of like integrity.
There's some good stories in there.
You have no idea.
I know, right? I get it, right? There's some good stories in there. You're like, man, I can just drop these at any time.
It's fun. It's fun to have and it's fun to cycle through, but I'm glad I've grown as a person and like kept my integrity. Like it definitely is an accountability thing.
Yeah.
I in my head, my phrase is, it's not my tea to serve.
There you
Since
go.
like spilling the tea is such a thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not mine to serve. I can't say that shit.
Yeah. It's not for you.
So
No,
it's really cool. I'm proud of myself for that quality of my life.
You should be.
Because that's new. That's some new shit.
Yeah, some of these stories, these are open source stories for the world, I believe. I just don't want to talk about it. I don't know if I don't want to talk about it. I don't know how interesting they are. One of them was kind of funny. I was told that I was too complicated.
Oh.
Like, I think too much.
I mean, that's fair.
Well, I guess so.
Some people who aren't complex, like deep thinkers.
It's true, but I was, I have to be able to have a conversation, like having a good conversation, like being able to converse with someone in a fun way is important to me. And they're like, you think about things too much. I was like, you don't think about that? They're like, no. And I was like, what do you want? You want me just to drink? What did they say? They were like, oh, let's drink Bud Light and watch football.
Yikes.
And I was like, well, I mean, I like those two things, but I like 9 million other things as well.
It's like my spectrum's pretty broad.
Yeah, right.
It'd be like, have you thought about how you feel about the color periwinkle? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, you haven't.
Yeah,
so think about it.
Yeah, I was at the where was I? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, it's a funny story. I was wearing a tie-dye shirt. I was at the coffee shop. I was wearing like a tie-dye shirt.
That you didn't make. You really need to get on that.
Yeah.
Okay, anywho, coffee shop. Tie-dye.
Yeah. And I was wearing
tie-dye. Like, hey, I like your tie-dye shirt.
Well, I was wearing a tie-dye shirt and basically.
Yeah.
And
I know.
Yeah, and like I can't remember what I had on. It was my clothes. That was the thing. So I don't really care what I wear, but that was the point of the story. I had on my what do I wear? I had a tie-dye shirt on, skinny jeans, which I always wear. I had high tops on.
Yeah. Yeah, usually like jogger sweater or like comfy tee kind of vibe with your cool shoes.
Yeah, with cool shoes. And then what else did I have? There's one other thing. Something like that, and a hat. I had a hat on, right? A flat brim hat, which is different than a snapback.
You keep your sticker on?
Yeah, on the bottom part. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's just a old school hood Jonesboro thing. I
understand,
but not on the top part. I got rid of that. I've cleansed that. I cleansed that up in college. And I was reading. I had books out in front of me because I'm off most of the time.
Yeah, you're like, this is my time.
Yeah,
and I'm reading books.
So I had, what book did I have? I had a book on quantum physics here. And then I was reading a book on Buddhism on the Tao. Right?
The Tao.
Yeah. And they were like,
congratulations on saying that with the D and not the T.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing.
It is a thing,
that's
right?
Taoism.
Yeah. So that's what I had in front of me. And this person was like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. She's like, you got like this urban thing here, tie-dye, quantum physics, and Buddhism. And I was like, yeah, it's me.
Like, hi.
Yeah. Like, hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever you come into my house, you definitely know who I am.
Yeah.
With my stuff.
There's stuff.
My stuff.
It's got colors and patterns on it.
Yeah. What?
My Mandela's on everything.
Can't help it.
Man, I learned a bunch of Mandelas after we talked. It's all gone though.
As far as like their geometric shapes, or the purpose of geometric things.
Yeah, just all of it. I can't remember it right now. So it might have been Graham Hancock. No, Terrence McKenna.
Oh yeah,
it might have been Terrence McKenna talking about him. I can't remember what he was saying though. Shit, I can't remember.
Yeah, for how much you don't remember, you remember a lot.
It's true.
Yeah,
it just comes out like randomly.
It's like blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, blah blah blah.
I know. Doesn't it make you mad how many song lyrics you have, but you forget what you were just reading?
Yeah.
It's rude.
Until the song comes on, it's like, oh snap.
That's how my whole car ride here was. It was so good. I was jamming to some reggae. Like, I missed my exit. And I was like, well, I guess I'm going the other way. As opposed to, like, coming through downtown.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, exit 8.
What kind of reggae were we getting to?
I think his name is Albarosi.
But what style of reggae?
I go a little bit back and forth. So, like, Treehouse, they're very much, like, the essence of like Jah.
Okay.
And they're great. So they're not always speaking about weed. I actually have met these people and they're like, no, dude, we don't fucking smoke. Like,
that's
their Rastafarian is like within their heart and soul. Like, they don't need the herb.
I don't like dancehall reggae, which I guess is pop reggae.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
But the song that I put on repeat was like Herbalist.
I don't know that one.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's got such a good beat to it. I'll send it to you. But, and he speaks in like a super, I don't even want to call it Jamaican. That's not what it is. He speaks in that type of dialect. Is
he from Jamaica?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I haven't looked at.
Is it a white dude?
No.
Okay. Now that white dudes could do some good.
Well, that's how Treehouse is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Treehouse is a mix of folks. But the lead singer is like a white guy, and he doesn't have dreads. Like he's He's got long hair, but he's not like a normal dude. But he even says like, I wear my dreads on the inside.
That's awesome.
Oh, you haven't listened to them yet. I'm disappointed in you.
Well, you should be.
Yeah. You would love them. Especially everything you're like reading through now. Like you have no idea.
I need it in the background.
It's so good.
I need it.
Yeah. Before I leave, we're listening to like 3 of my favorite songs.
Do it. Let's do it. We'll jam out to it.
Yeah.
I like all reggae except for dancehall, which is kind of like what's his name, like Shaggy.
Yeah.
That guy, like it's kind of like.
Oh, we ain't mad at Shaggy.
No, I'm not mad at him, but like that ain't my jam though.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's pop music from Jamaica.
Yeah.
Which I don't like pop music from America.
Yeah.
Like, just to be fair, I don't like any pop music. Well, I shouldn't say
But what
that.
I was jamming to was all like the, get the money washed. So it's so good. I am not that hard, but I know all the words to these reggae songs. Like,
you ever watch Office Space?
Office Space? No.
Yeah. Oh, you never seen Office Space? No, that's an older movie from the 90s. You never seen? Man, you never seen Office Space?
I've seen all of La Femme Nikita, but I haven't. No.
Well, anyways, so it's these accountants that work at a bank or something like that. And they're these white accountant dudes. And like how the movie starts off is in their car and they're in traffic.
And they're just like,
and they're just rapping an Ice Cube. So I think it's an Ice Cube song. They're just rapping. Like they know all the words. They're just hitting it. And they got like their ties on and stuff.
That's me.
Yeah. And the windows are down. And then the N word drops, right? Like,
and they're like,
yeah. And then like the N word drops. So they look out the window and then like there's like they're in traffic in like Los Angeles or something. And then they don't say it. And then they just keep on rapping this hard song. And then they see like a homeless person kind of walk across the street. And then they like roll up their window really quick and lock it. It's just funny because there's like this rapping like these really hard songs.
Like, I'm scared.
Yeah, they see like a homeless person. They're like, click. It's funny.
I'm really mindful about pedestrians. Like I throw my flashers on. I'm fucking like slow down, make sure they give a lot of space. I try to make eye contact. I'm like, I see you. I was like, I'm here for your protection. I see you.
We're in this together.
We're in this together. Like you're walking. I feel you.
Yeah, I like reggae with a band and horns and a band.
I'm telling you.
That's what I need.
I fucking love Treehouse.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna.
They're like a South Carolina. They're from South Carolina. I've seen them twice. Dude, I've never danced so hard. I didn't have any drinks. I was like, bye. I was gone.
This is it.
I was like, I'm gonna go dance. And
the best show I've ever saw, I think ever, was a Modest Yahoo show before he was famous.
Man, he came to Atlanta
before he was famous.
After like stopped touring for a little bit, he came to Atlanta and Macon, and he was at the Capitol Theater, which is like a old school thing in Macon. Macon ain't got a lot, but it's got that. And he was there, and I couldn't go.
That's lame.
It's like on a Thursday.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I gotta work.
If you guys don't know who Modest Yahoo is, it's like the weirdest, most awesome combination.
Is he Jewish? Is that his whole thing?
I don't know if he is now. I think he's like transcended.
But there's a different type of like.
He was an Orthodox Jew.
Orthodox Jew. That's what the whole look.
Yeah, the whole look
the
with the
black suit and the curls in the front and the beard and the whole thing with the hair. I love spiritual things when it comes to hair. Like Rastafarian has the whole thing with the hair. And speaking from someone who's had dreads for a pretty extended amount of time, but still brief, like it was. Stick. No,
that's crazy.
They were great, but just feeling like the tactile feeling of having, I've never had my hair in like box braids or anything like that. But so having dreads was the first time. Like I had different parts of my scalp exposed, and it was different. And having my hair and collective things like that, it was different.
In a good way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was like
you're like, oh yeah,
a tactile experience
on your head,
on my head, which is like being able to be like closer to my dome, closer to like actual brain activity. It was really cool.
What was it like?
It was just different.
Because I've only had short hair.
Well, yeah. So you know what it's like having like the breeze touch your hair.
It is good.
I haven't had short hair since I was like 7.
That's true.
So just to have like that different tactile experience on my dome. It was crazy.
Yeah, whenever my hair gets long, I can feel it move. I'm like, gotta get it cut.
Sam has been growing out his hair. He had it really long. He just got it cut yesterday. Talk about husband.
What's that check
good
for?
Stuff. He just listens.
he does good.
Yeah. Well, because it was always me. He usually kind of kept it short, like super short on the sides and a little bit longer on the top, kind of. But he doesn't style his hair like you do.
My hair sticks up in the front anyway.
Yeah, so you're just like...
Yeah, I just go with it.
But...
And in the back, sorry. I have a cowlick in the front, massive in the front, and it sticks up on both sides. It's only like, flat in the middle.
Got to do something with it.
So it's the weirdest puffy look if I don't put product in
No,
it.
I totally, but Sam bought product. He's never really put product in his hair.
It's a game changer, man.
I know, but it was really
Because you don't have to touch it all day. It's just good.
Or, and his is a little bit like a softer of a texture that he has now. And he was like, this is mine. Don't use it. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, the good thing if you
used it.
it was awesome.
Well, it smells like man stuff.
Yeah,
which I mean, I ain't mad at. I use men's deodorant.
like sage.
More
oil.
like musky, like more of a cologne kind of smell.
I got this new.
Which I ain't mad at.
It's not new. I've been using it for a while. This deodorant. It's like a spray. It's like essential oil spray.
Oh, that's nice.
It's like tea tree oil and some other stuff. It smells so good when I spray it on, but it does not last. I mean, like,
be like, I got the funk a little later.
Yeah, man. I just need to carry it around with me and just put it on. But I don't know. I feel real earthy. I'm like, man, I'm crunchy AF. Get that on there. I don't use deodorant.
Yeah.
I mean, it is deodorant, but like, it's like not the degree.
Stick.
Yeah, like the stick or whatever.
Degree. Don't use that.
Yeah, it's supposed to, that aluminum in there.
It was Halloween time, and I was looking at, you call your spouse, be like, hey, what the fuck you need from the store? And he was like, give me some deodorant. And then I got some just because it had wolves on it.
Well, that's a good reason.
But it smelled like candy.
Even better.
Like nerd rope candy.
You're like, yep.
So I stole it, and I was like, I'll buy you different deodorant. I like this.
This is mine.
I was like, it's got wolves and deodorant. I was going to wear a wolf shirt today, too. We just had a wolf moon, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what a wolf moon is.
I'm going to Google that.
Google it.
Each month has like a different moon
name. You're as a lady, your body is like in tune with the moon cycle.
Oh, yeah. You got the moon shit.
Yeah, I mean, you have a literal cycle that's in tune with it.
Yeah.
I do not.
A 28-day cycle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
now, I have gotten out of, I was never like a huge like moon worshiper. Like that's kind of a witchy thing, is always the moon cycle.
The word worship is pretty intense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely like there are some people who are like everything they go through is their moon cycle. I feel like it's a little too erratic for like my personality type.
Erotic or erratic?
Erratic.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it could be erotic.
I didn't know. That's why I was like, what are you guys doing with the moons? Like, I was like, what's happening?
Well, I do know some people who like, it is a thing. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at my phone to look up wolf moon to see if that was what we just had. Yeah, it's the January moon.
I like how you just narrated what was going on in your brain.
Yeah, that's what I do. I like to sing things, and that's how my brain thinks.
Man, I have no musical talent, but I love music. Yeah. If I could sing, that's all I would do.
I mean, you can still sing. It doesn't have to be good.
Well, if I could sing, I can't even carry a tune. Like if I could carry a slight tune, that's all I would do.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, people who have like good pitch and can actually like hit some certain melodies and like
I wish I could
harmonics.
sing. I want to sound like a gospel singer. If I had that kind of voice, deep.
I wish I knew how to do like Mongolian throat singing.
I don't. I think I know what that is.
Oh, it's so good.
And like what is,
they activate two different parts of their vocals, so they kind of have this like.
Is this an old school thing or is it something that's happening now?
I mean, people are still doing it, but
Mongolia is not a country anymore, so it has to be like
Mongolian
old school.
Throat singing. It's very cool. There's this one video of this man who's like sitting on a piece of rock, and then you just see this vastness around him. And I'm not sure the name of this instrument, but it's a traditional instrument. It's pretty skinny and long. There's a smaller bulb at the bottom, and I can't tell if it has 3 or 4 strings. And they play it upright from their lap, and it is with a bow-like thing, but definitely not like a violin. So more like how you would sit with a cello, but it's very small and narrow. And it's a traditional Mongolian, I'm assuming, because I've always seen it paired with like Mongolian throat singing. Dude, he's so good. It gives me chills every time.
I'm gonna have to Google it.
Yeah, I'll find it. But just in general, like what people can do, and there's a few different indigenous cultures that have this type of like throat activation, like people who beatbox.
Yeah,
they can activate different things. So
now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, people who can beatbox can activate these different tritones of their vocal cords, and so Mongolian throat singing is just a different variation of it.
I have to add that to the list of like.
There's like a metal band who has like a gentleman who like does his things. There's a few metal bands that are just like.
I tried to get into metal like when I was like an angsty kid. Mm-hmm. It wasn't for me.
I mean, I don't have that much angst in me, but just like knowing musicians and knowing like the technicality behind. Like,
I was just saying, like, I just didn't vibe with it.
Like metal math.
I don't know what that is. Is that a band or a style?
No, it's like a very intricate type of being a musician, like the way that they play their notes, like metalcore. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to the metal theory that I don't know, man.
It's just really technical timing.
I got you.
And they're just good at it, and it sounds insane. But it actually works with like, most music is in like an eighth.
Yeah.
Like, your waltz is a beat of 4 or whatever.
You know what I was trying to wrap my mind around?
So like fractions with your math music. I ain't got it.
I don't either.
No.
I was trying to, a couple things. I'm on Shahu. And then finish that. So many open stories.
It's our life.
Yeah.
That's like our MO.
Yeah,
That's what we should change this. Be like open stories that you'll never get conclusions unless you take it home.
We should change the name. We could call it Open Stories.
Open Stories.
That's a good name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not stuck on anything.
Yeah.
It's a good name. But he's a white dude from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Jewish or Orthodox Jew that sings like traditional,
like gospel.
also,
like he's kind of like, he definitely speaks like religion and God is like
it's
part
true.
of his.
Yeah. Which is what like classic reggae does. Like you think of like Bob Marley. I mean, people think of him smoking weed a lot because like on the t-shirts and stuff. But if you listen to his music, man, it's like
he's talking about the soul and heart and connection to source. Yeah, exactly. For sure.
And so like, and then this dude just comes out just rocking.
Yeah.
Awesome
Those
reggae
beats, man.
Yeah. Just awesome, man. I found it when I was in college. When I was in doctoral school, I was running on a treadmill, and this is back when there was MTV College. It was a channel. MTV I think it was called MTV College, MTV University, something like that. I don't remember. So like it was on the TV, and I'm just running,
and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and it was playing. I'd never seen it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I already liked reggae, so it's like that was already kind of in my wheelhouse, and I was like, what is this? I was like,
I want it.
Yeah, and I was looking at it, I'm like, this is like are they making fun of Jewish folks? Like, at first, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, this is a Jewish cat. And like, I'm like, they start singing. I was like, yes.
It's like, yes, I agree with everything you're doing right now.
Date myself. So after I got done working out, I drove my car and I went to Best Buy and I bought a CD.
Hell yeah.
That's how you date yourself right there. I didn't even download it. It's like Best Buy, baby.
I never really knew how to, like, LimeWire was never my thing. I never really knew how to do that. I still don't know how to do that.
We just use that for naughty movies.
Yeah, but people got music from it too. I don't know how to do that.
Everything's porn. Anything on the internet.
All of it's porn.
It is, man. Like, that's what the whole internet is.
But man, and my parent, like, there was things my parents would have no problem, be like, sure, you can have whatever you want. But like some things, my dad's like, I'm not buying you that.
Yeah.
Like going in Hot Topic, like living out my goth girl dreams did not happen.
Yeah.
Because my dad would be like, I'm not buying that. I got away with like one spiky belt.
I was just about to say it was a spiky shirt. I was just about to say, he's like, I'm not buying that for you, man.
I really wanted like the trip pants, and I wanted like
you want the MDMA
mesh tops.
You want the MDMA making Jinko jeans?
Yes. The MDMA factory pants. It just appears from inside of the pockets. Yeah, I really wanted trip pants, and I did get some Osiris's, which are like skate shoes, and they had like these cool little cartoon cute little things. I got a pair of those.
Nice. I was always trying to get my hands on some Jordans.
Oh no.
That was just, I need some Jordans and I need new hats. Like that was like my life. If I could just like, give me that hat.
But I mean, like they didn't buy me makeup, like CDs. I got away with getting 2 CDs, and they are completely, I got Reliant K, which is like, I wouldn't say they're gospel, but they are definitely a Christian band.
Yeah.
Super innocent, good poppy stuff. And then Bloodhound Gang, hefty.
Nice,
hefty
man.
sign.
Nice.
Which if you haven't seen that album cover, it is literally the fattest man inside of a box. And he's definitely naked.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, fine, okay, I'll buy this shit.
He doesn't have spikes on it. It's cool.
So those were my 2 CDs that I was able to purchase in like my youth.
You're like, give me that.
So that's me in a nutshell.
Dude, that is an awesome dichotomy of a music genre taste.
And then I had like my dad's music. So I had like Rammstein and I had Metallica. There's a Metallica reggae cover that I literally almost cried.
Really? I've never heard that. That sounds pretty jammy.
It's the song Unforgiven. If you don't know Metallica.
No, I know what it is.
Yeah. So
if I could sing, I'd just drop it out. I know the words right now. I just can't do it.
They're like, I have a long drive home. So sometimes I just kind of like go way back in the music bank. And I'm just like, I'm definitely going to sing like these next 5 songs of Metallica or like System of a Down. And then I'm like, before you know it, I'm like, wow, I'm home. And I turn my music up very loud. And I'm just like, I know why I'm deaf.
That's how I am with rap music. I'm like, hit that.
Beep. Turn that shit up.
Let me just go ahead and wrap this whole CD real quick.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's mine.
So Bookends, man. Bookends of music. Like, if your friends ever send you music, you need to listen to it because it's like part of their soul that they're trying to be like, look, I think you would really resonate with this.
Yeah, I'm sorry I ignored your soul.
No, it's okay.
I feel really bad.
It's fine.
You just eloquently put that. I'm like, man, I did that.
I'm just saying, I know you would like it.
No, I like the things.
You'd be stuck on it.
Well,
because like I said, it doesn't just talk about weed. It's got some sick beats. He's got such a good cadence. Like, he's so good at what he does. And like the music that you hear on the soundtrack is like what you hear live.
And it's reggae.
It's so good.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
I'm all in on reggae, man.
Yeah. So a few of my favorite things you should look into. Debbie Silverman. She is the astrologist. She does take like clients and stuff, and she'll tell you all about your natal chart. She's probably like been the most like eloquent speaking, like not just like using these buzzwords of like, let's activate our like junk DNA and like let's cellular regenerate. She's not like that. Like, she's really great.
Those are some good words though.
I'm not saying they're bad.
Obviously, you said that.
But you know, sometimes
I want that.
It's like, I want to be activated in my junk DNA so I can elevate my life.
Screw that.
I'll get my Merkaba and my light vehicle and transcend the dimensions. I'm not saying those are bad things.
No, like, I didn't know about the light car.
The light vehicle.
Yeah.
Have you looked into it?
No.
What have you been reading with your Buddhism stuff? You were telling me about it. What you been digging into? What's been like your most like, whoa?
All of it.
I always go into like the Tim and Eric when he's like,
yeah. So I got
that's my favorite little gif.
My favorite meme of all time is that Leonardo DiCaprio from the Django. That face, man. Any meme with that guy on, I'm like, save that.
I just
meme.
watched Catch Me If You Can for the first time.
That's a good movie, man.
Yeah, he's a fucking 16-year-old. He's like 30 in that movie. He's like, just shave my beard. I look like a little kid. It's fun. He's a talented man.
I believed it.
Yeah,
I believed.
That was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
What were you asking me?
Buddhism versus the Taoism. What stuff you've been reading? What you've been thinking?
All of it. So now I feel like I know nothing and I can't explain it. I'm at that level.
Like I told you, that's what DMT. It's like, I know the cosmic stuff, or like things of the universe, and how it's all gone.
Yeah. So like, I take in a lot of information. I'm like, and I get that.
You do like an information dump.
I do, man, constantly.
Yeah.
And I thought I had a hat on. Speaking of hats, I was like, let me just read. So then I've been doing that, and I was like, I do that all the time, so I get the essence of the stuff and like bits of it. You know what I mean? Because I can't remember it verbatim.
Yeah.
Or understand it, and then I'll go back in time. Not back in time, but I'll go back and like study like a chunk of it. So that's kind of where I'm at now. So like, and I do that, and then because this is pretty hardcore philosophy. Yeah. So I went from that stage to now, I don't understand it. I was like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
Now
I'm like, you're like, I know nothing.
Yeah. Now I'm like, I know nothing, which I think is a good part for what I'm learning.
Yeah. Isn't it an imposter syndrome is so hilarious to me. I feel like I live in a constant state of that.
What's better than the opposite douchebag syndrome?
Yeah, for sure. Be like, I know fucking everything. I tell people that at a time, like, this is what I know, but I don't know shit.
Yeah. The thing I'm wrapping around my mind around is like one of their things that they try to focus or teach on is, how to have how to bypass your not cosmic karmic
chain.
Yeah, your debts. So like a lot of times he was like, I've been learning like when you start to go on an enlightened trip, anybody, not me, but like I've been doing this shit forever, but like anyone, like you start doing yoga or you start learning some different thing to improve your life spiritually or whatever, in any spiritual realm, that your karmic debt comes up quick.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you remember this bullshit you did? You need to apologize for that.
Yeah, or like it hits you, like all this stuff that's happened, right?
That's step 9 in programs. I watched somebody today that talks like his whole platform is like helping people with like recovery. Step 8 is like writing down a list of all the people you wronged, and then step 9 is go and apologize to those motherfuckers for all the shitty stuff you've done. Yeah,
it was just saying like once you go on this, it's not like bad things start happening, you get sick. This person happens, you lose your job, something awful situation happens. You're like, what is why is the universe conspiring against me?
Have you ever seen that image where it's like a cliff? It's like a so it's you're standing on the cliff, and then it's got someone flicking you, and that's God. Then it's got a hand catching you, and that's God. And it's got these other things, and it's like we're just kind of gonna beat you up, and this is all your like spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think people think that.
Yeah, it's like people think that the spiritual awakening is like, oh my gosh, like I feel so connected. And it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, apparently there's a universal law. Like once you start doing that, you're I almost say cosmic. It's not that. It's karmic.
Karmic. Yeah.
Yeah, like the shit you've done, debt is due.
Yeah.
Like
Have you ever heard anything kind of like ancestral trauma?
I've heard of that.
Or like ancestral karma in general.
I know of it, but I haven't like put any thought into it.
I know a lot of people who, I know a few people who
See,
like
I don't
that's
know if I
been
believe in that, man. Like,
an intent to like break ancestral trauma and like to do the work that your ancestors couldn't do or haven't done, or, you know, they passed away before they could get the task done, and to complete that so that you can release that energy.
That sounds fun.
Because it's like, there was a really cool, it was saying like how many people had to live and die for us to be here, like our actual like ancestral chain.
Do you know what that number is?
It's an absurd amount.
That sounds awesome.
It's definitely well above the thousands of people, if not like hundreds of thousands of people had to like, live and have experiences and die for us to be here. Like
for each one of us, though.
For each one of us, yeah. And it's cool how it interweaves and like how many people like I feel I have a little bit of distance because my immediate family wasn't here until, I don't know, maybe the 40s. My immediate family didn't get here until, you know, my mom and dad came here together in the 80s.
Your mom's American though, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, she was born in North Hollywood.
Well, there you go.
California.
Cali.
You know, and so I mean, she was here once. She was born in 65. So just like, yeah, there's not a lot of like deep roots in the U.S.
Gotcha.
Because my mom's mom is German, my dad's side is German, so we have a lot over there.
It's all happening over there.
It's all over there.
It's like we're clean.
We got one allele that's from over here.
We're like, we're clean. We're good. There's no.
I know. Like I'm like, we got here in the 80s. Like some of this stuff, like that ain't my trauma. We got some other shit that I have to like work out, and I gotta apologize for, like ancestrally.
You're like, my kids are screwed because of you.
Guys.
Like I did too much. I'm sorry.
There's a really cool bird sitting on your fence out there.
Yeah, they do that, man. They just kind of like they just chill out there.
He's like fat. Yeah, he's got a nice like. Let me describe this bird. He's got a cute little black head, and he's got like this warm, like almost red toned brown on his belly. He's cute.
I think it's why the cats live on the fence.
Hell yeah. They'd be like, I'm going to eat that motherfucker.
Yeah, they just like.
Outdoor cats are like one of the biggest threats to birds.
I watch them.
Mm-hmm. They'll eat them.
Yeah, it's like a death match out there. Like in through the worms, like what?
And as a sister-in-law to an ornithologist who is the person
which is
who
trippy. I forgot about that. Yeah,
she's a cool lady. She's a smart gal. I wish I could remember the name of I could look it up. Where she works, because it sounds really fancy. You know, everything in the UK is like.
It is a little bit fancier.
It's so fancy.
Even when they drink
it's
tea.
Like the royal something.
Like even when they drink tea, which is like the least fancy drink you could drink, it's like, oh my God, it's
Tea's
so fancy.
So fancy. Have you seen the things that are like the little flower buds that you put in the hot water and it?
I have not. You make some fancy flower tea.
Yeah, fancy flower tea.
Also, I was talking about the debt, your karmic debt.
Yes.
So so like once you start going, like that's why if you're going through some sort of change in your life, like you've never done some sort of like spiritual awakening or like or even spirit, that's the kind of connotation, religion, anything, right? Whatever you're into right now, if it's different, then your debt is due. Like, so then you get sick, all this bad stuff happens. You think, oh my God, like why is the universe, because what's happening
like, what the fuck did I do? Why are you guys picking on me?
Yeah. And the reason that happens is because like, if you do make a super positive change, then it's like a credit card, then you stop using your credit cards and the debt stops accruing. So it's like, nope, you got to pay it now.
Yeah.
So like in not Buddhism, in the Tao or in the Taoism, Taoism, it's like they tried to skip that step.
Oh, they're like, oh.
Yeah, but it's really hard. Like, so what am I doing? I'm trying to wrap my mind around so what they try to do is in life is to have intention to do something, and action happens simultaneously. Yeah. So then you can.
That's like the fifth dimension that I was talking about. Like your manifestation of your thoughts and your intentions. Sorry, the fourth dimension that happened immediately.
I was like fifth dimension. That's what I was like.
Fifth dimension, I think, is light. Like that's your light body. Gotcha. So you get into this. I think the fifth dimension is what they categorize is like Christ consciousness.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Get there.
Yeah. But like for me, I was just like, well, how the fuck do you have intention to do something like quit drinking or whatever and then do it instantaneously?
Yeah. And just stop doing that shit. Well, I mean, cause we all kind of know, I don't know why we have to keep like reassuring. It's like, you know, you're not supposed to do it. Just stop fucking doing it.
Yeah. But all at the same time, like all this, I'm going to do this and this is what's going to happen and make it, it's it just happens it just is a mutual arising of each other, which is kind of crazy. Cause like, how can you do something before you think about it?
Yeah.
So that's like one of the things that once you get there, it's like you've bypassed the universe almost.
Yeah. You're like, I'm just going to
yeah. And then he was like,
tap in.
Yeah. Then he was kind of pointing, it was Alan Watts that was talking about it. He put it into a term that makes sense to me because I grew up Baptist. So like my grandparents talked this way. So he was like in the traditional Christian way to look at it. He was like, I don't know if you were taught this, but like never let the devil know what you're going to do.
Oh,
yeah, because he's like the enemy's against you.
Yeah, the church I went to was was a lot more like missions based and spreading the word of God.
That's the way to go. Yeah, that's the way to go.
It was definitely not hell, brimfire, or anything like that.
That's the way to go. But it was like, it's just a saying. It's a saying. I didn't be like, never let the devil know what you're going to do.
Gotcha.
Like if you're going to quit drinking, like I'm going to quit drinking, and as soon as you say that, the devil's going to make it the next
be like,
80
I'm going to
days
make this really hard for you.
Really effing hard, right? And then he was like, there's a compromise, which sucks too. You could just say, I'm going to not drink today.
Yeah.
And you can do it every day, but then you have to make that conscious choice and bargain with the universe or
which
the devil.
Which is what people with addictions have to do every day.
Yeah. So it's like you have to make that bargain with evil every day. He's like, or you can do what the Taoists do. And it's like, just do it.
Just fucking do it.
You don't think it's just like you have an intention, you have an action, and it just simultaneously arises at the same time. And then that way no one knows it's happened because it's already done.
Yeah. It's like shit's already done.
Yeah. You don't have to pay
list before you wrote it down.
You don't have to pay you don't have to pay your karmic debt. And then you don't have to like fight with the evil side of spirituality at the same time. And when I heard that, I was like,
damn,
how do I do that? I always feel like I have like, I used to always joke around like I have this evil inside of me. I've said that for years, but I really think it's pain if you really I boil it down and think about it. But I'm like, so like this, it really caught me when I said that, because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And then I do feel like sometimes like all this stuff hits me at one time, or like, like there's a battlefield in my mind going on, which would be the devil, like making it hard for me. And I was just like, I want to be able to just instantaneously do that. Yeah. And I don't know how to do it, like simultaneously make action and intention happen, arise at the same time.
I mean, I guess you'll learn. Fuck around, find out, man.
Yeah, man. So like I've been like meditating about it, doing all kinds of thinking about it, doing all kinds of stuff. So I guess like that I can't wrap my mind around. And then he was just talking about like stream, like, how you, and like one of the big thing is the Tao is a huge concept, right? I can't even go into it because I don't understand it enough.
Some small little blurb of like the difference between like Buddhism and Taoism is like Buddhism is more spirituality and more like a religion, where Taoism is a little bit more logical, and it's an actual like
it's a way of thinking.
It's a way of thinking, as opposed to like it's not a religion.
Yeah, you don't worship.
And it's like almost like a way of like morality. And then it's both of those things. It's like a regional thing. I know we think both of those kind of are like an Asian-esque kind of thing, but I think Buddhism came from India, and then it was adapted and adopted by Asian cultures.
Yeah, so I was just like, and another thing that's kind of blown me away was just talking about like how you had to live in the present. Like there was a book, what's it, T.S. Eliot wrote it. It's called the Four Symphonies of the Quartet. I can't remember. It's a famous, like super famous book. I know you haven't read it because you don't even read new books.
I don't read.
Yeah, this is like a book from like the 50s or 1800s or whatever.
I've read like 10 books.
Yeah, well, that's 10 more than, you know what I mean? But it was just like the thought is like the man that sits on the train, because it was written a long time ago, and reads the newspaper isn't the same man that got on the train deck. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah. It's like the guy who showed up on the platform. Isn't the same person who's leaving the train. Yeah, and the same person that's reading the newspaper, the train, isn't the same person who arrived at his destination. Yeah. And that was really hard for me to understand. It's cool when you say it. Like, oh, yeah, totally, man. But I'm like, well, how, like, so it's like the thing, again, when you think about it, it's like, so the things that you've done in the past don't make you the person you are now. You know what I mean? It's not one continuous season or one continuous life. It's super ever changing. It's every present moment is its separate entity. Yeah. And I'm like, that's really hard for me. And I could say it out loud, but like when I really think about what it means to comprehend it, I'm like, I need a couple of days on that one. I need to digest that. Yeah. So that's the one I've been really working on. And like, even if you think about the past, or if you think about the future, you're doing it in the present. Yeah. You're still doing it. No, it's okay. I didn't know what was happening. I'm just pulling this closer. Yeah. I'm going to lean back. Yeah. So it's still happening in the present. And like when I heard that, I was just like, I can't understand that. Like how things that happened to me yesterday he didn't say it didn't affect me. He just said it's not the same thing. Yeah. And I think it's really good to like have that understanding and to respect that in other people. It's like the person you knew last week, you have to accept that may not be the same person you know today. Yeah. The example we gave was like, if you don't do it, Marley,
She's doing it.
She's doing it.
Stop it. Marley's licking the camera. It's gonna be like she can't hear me. So like,
she was licking it last time. We didn't notice a shake.
I saw it.
It's not a volcano. It's
She'll
not
do
a
it
hurricane.
she'll do it the whole time. Go away.
Go get her.
She doesn't like when I wave my hand like that.
She's like, bitch, don't fucking talk to me with that attitude.
That's as sassy as I can get with her. I just shake my wrist at her violently. She's like,
Deaf dog problems. What if she just pissed on the floor right now and was like, fuck you?
I'd be mad.
I'd be like, girl.
The other day she sneeze peed.
Oh.
I wasn't mad at that one though.
They don't have pelvic floor dog specialists, do they?
I don't know, man. She's old.
Should.
She sneeze peed.
PSA, if you have a pelvic floor, which is all of us, you should go see a pelvic floor therapist because it's common, but it is not okay for you to pee when you sneeze.
People do that after pregnancy a lot of times.
It's a problem.
Yeah. I get it.
It's an issue that can be solved. It's not something you just have to deal with. I'm sorry. That's my soapbox.
Don't live with pee pants.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just makes me mad that people just accept that that's what their life has to be just because they don't know.
It's just a little pee.
But they ain't got to be like that.
No, I was joking. When Andre was a
uterus
kid,
anger issues.
when Andre was a kid, there was pee on everything on accident because he was a baby, and the phrase was, "It's just a little pee."
It's just a little pee.
We need to clean that. It's just a little pee.
It's a little pee.
It's a difference between a little and a lot, but
I mean, it still could be a lot, and you're like,
yeah, it's just pee.
It's fine.
But he was talking about like the illusion of the connection of time in a human or in our life. And he was like a good example, like the example that resonated with me is like at nighttime, if you light a cigarette, it glows or whatever. And if you spin it in a circle, it looks like a circle.
Yeah.
He's like, that's life. But it's like, that's time or like that's, but if you stop, it's still just the present. It's still just that one lit moment. It's an illusion. It's not actually there.
That's how hula hoops are so cool.
That is why hula hoops are so cool.
Because the tracers of the light, it's like, this is all continuous and you don't even know because you can't see it.
Yeah. So then I started like really thinking, I was like, so I picture that in my mind, I could see the orange ember burning in an illusionary circle of my life. But then if you could stop each one, it'd be a different moment present, and it's a different person than the one prior to it, the one coming up. And then I stopped thinking about it. And I was just like, that's too much for me.
It's too much. And you probably do this at like 10 p.m. and you're like, wow, I got a lot to think about. And then it's like, now I can't sleep.
I do it all the time. It's not actually too much for me. It's like awesome.
Or not too much, but it's a lot. And it just kind of keeps you awake.
Yeah. And then I'm like, well, I got to think about this other thing that we were talking about. Yeah. And then it gets kind of crazy. And then,
life.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I do. One thing in Taoism, when they look at it, it's frustrating. It's because like one of the, I think it might be in like the main text of the way of thinking is like, if you could write it down, it's not it.
Yeah.
And that's like, well, that's hard to learn.
Yeah. There's a lot of heavier like science realms to go into, like theoretical science and theoretical physics and stuff like that. And it's like, if you can't explain it simply, you don't know it. Yeah. I can't remember. Someone said that. Someone phrased that. If you can't explain
but this is like, if you can write it down, it's not it.
It's not
it. And I was like, well, how do you learn it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, well, if it's not it, then how does one learn it?
It's magical shit, man. You gotta drop a lot of veils to be able to get in there, which is fun because that's what revelation means.
Is it dropping veils? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Or like let me get the so other fun things. I'm really trying to get better about my facts. So fancy place that my sister-in-law works is called the RSBP, which is the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds.
But if you said it in a British accent, it would be way cooler.
So cute. I don't have a British accent.
I know, I'm saying, but if we could get her on, we should get her on and talk about birds, man.
Birds. Well, she's in the UK.
They can
call in.
Skype it.
She does know. She's really impressive. She knows a lot of bird sounds by just ear, like a huge amount of exorbitant amount of number of birds that she can like perfect pitch knows.
That's crazy. I remember you telling me that.
Oh, what was I just gonna look up?
Oh, I don't know, man. It's gone. I'm in that good place where it's stream of consciousness now.
It's gone.
It's all it's stream of consciousness.
It's gone.
Yeah, but one thing, it was like, how we look at like religion or God, any God is like, it's a king.
Yeah.
Right. Ruler of things. Right. Or, there's one way of looking at the universe, which is like, I can't remember what they call it. Ceramic. Mm. So there's a potter that has perfect clay that makes the universe. Like that's generally how it's taught.
Yeah.
Well, it's how it's taught to me. I think just
like a higher power put intention and did creation.
Yeah. Made it. Like I'm an architect, made it, like actually make it. So like
the Egyptian way of it is really fun. It's very sexual. It's like very much like pretty much he masturbated and that was creation. That was the Big Bang. Like his orgasm created it. What?
Marley hasn't brought a toy out in a long time. Look at her.
She's like, fuck yeah, I'm going to play.
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna keep doing it? I'll keep playing.
Oh man, she hasn't got after it in a long time.
We're here for it. This is real life, guys.
Yeah. But so yeah, that's one way. So what we do in the West, like in our society, I can't even talk about this when Marley's doing it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'll
She's
just forget
excited.
what I was talking about. It's cool. You can play with Marley. Marley's fun.
She's fun. No, she's self-entertaining.
Yeah, for a second it's because she can't get it because her mouth's all jacked up. She's only got like 6 teeth left or whatever.
Oh,
So like what we do is like that's how we learn the universe is made, and like for whatever reason we'll try to break things down to the smallest
we
particle.
do that as people. We like to completely cut things apart because we're trying to dissect it and understand.
We want to see the God molecule, because if you could if you can go all the way down to creation, you can reverse it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so we're trying to learn that model, right? Oh, that's Marley. I'm sorry, I never heard. It's like Darth Vader. That was my dog breathing. Yeah, I was like, man, there's a Sith Lord here, man. But like the Tao is the opposite of that. It's there isn't like a cause and effect, like perfect,
Because it all happens simultaneously.
It's like mutual arising.
Yeah.
And like, like you can't have high without low. You wouldn't know it existed. Falling and stable, light, dark, things like that. They all mutually arise. Like, and like it looks at the earth, that's kind of like, but the universe as a symbiotic organism, like the whole universe, it mutually rises together. Like, like you can't have flowers without bees. Like there won't be beehives without flowers in there. Like one didn't come first, so one didn't cause the other. They mutually grow together. And the whole earth is that way. The whole universe is that way. Like the whole thing. Right?
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Not just our like actual like solar system. Yeah. The entire bit of cosmos.
Yeah. So the whole thing is an interdependent system that mutually arose together for the benefit of all. That's the Tao.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's kind of like,
I haven't dove too deep into it.
Yeah. So and it's crazy because like what we do is we'll try to find the king. We'll try to find the throne, the mantle, the thing where the king is that created it or whatever, right? The ruler. And I think that's a better, I like to think, if God is love, which is what it says. I would like to think,
if you read the red bits of the Bible, you'll get a lot more out of it.
Yeah. Right. So, which is like, so if that's true, which I think it is, then like thinking of the Tao makes perfect sense to me. Cause like, that's what it really would be. Sorry, Marla's going crazy.
I mean,
talking about the Tao and the universe, and Mara's like,
I mean, this is the calm and the cosmic chaos all at once.
Yeah, man.
There's no life without chaos.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. It's like, so you won't find in the Tao or in that mutual arising, which when I heard the word mutual arising, that made so much sense to me. I was like, that's life. Like that's it all. That's all of it right there. So once I heard that and understood it, I was in. I'm like, I'm going to learn this philosophy of thinking because like that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
And like to me, like I got some flack and I got some love on one of the podcasts. I was talking about like in my sandbox, everything fits.
Yeah.
Like everything fits to me. Like I love it. Science, dinosaurs, aliens, God, Jesus, it all fits together.
And someone was like, I don't like your fucking sandbox.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I was just like, well, how do you live, man? Cause like this shit's real. Like, or you know what I mean? So for me, like that's just another little sandbox to put in there into like the things that I think, and it doesn't contradict. So I'm just like, yeah, if God is love, that's how it would be. It would be mutual arising and everything. It's not cause and effect. Like it's not like hammer and nail.
Yeah.
So I forgot I was going with that. There was something, I got a lot of hate on that one. Some hate, some love on that one.
A little mixed review.
Yeah, I got mixed reviews on that one.
That's okay.
Yeah, and one thing about the Tao.
If there are no haters, well, you ain't doing right.
That's true. So. We don't talk politically correct for any particular, right? You know what I mean? So it's cool. Like if people only vibe with it, it would be weird.
Yeah.
But it was saying like that in the Tao, which is this I can't even define what it is. It's an ancient Chinese way of thinking. Right?
Yeah.
So that's all I really know about.
People do like confuse and then blend like Buddhism and Taoism.
Yeah. And I don't know enough to distinguish it. It's just a different.
Like I said, some of it is like regional, like Buddhism kind of came from India and was adopted. The cultures just adopt and
like I know in Buddhism,
cherry pick what they want to do.
Yeah, like I know in Buddhism,
but it is definitely more of a religion.
It worship
can be
Buddha.
A religion.
Yeah, and the Tao, it seems to be just a way of looking at the universe.
Yeah, it's
life.
like a moral code.
Yeah, Wu Wei, the easy way. Is it
Yahweh?
Yahweh? No, it's not Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yeah, that's Jesus. It's Wu Wei.
Wu Wei.
Wu Wei. Yeah, the easy way. Like the way, but it's like the easy way to do things.
Yahweh or Yahweh. I don't know. I think that's something in Spanish is like.
That's I think it's.
Yahweh? No.
No. Hold on. Not. Sorry, my brain's clicked over. I don't know what Jewish people speak. Traditionally, Hebrew.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's Hebrew. Yeah, Yahweh. It's Hebrew. Well, it could be other languages too, but it isn't Hebrew. Sorry, I couldn't remember what it was. So it's like, so one thing that else is cool is like in that force or love or the mutual arising interconnection, symbiotic thing or whatever that is everything, right? This force or deity doesn't look for praise. It's the opposite. It almost hates praise. Like the way I learned it.
Don't be silly, goose.
Yeah, the way I learned it was like, it's like water. It seeks the lowest calm. Like that's what it's looking for. It's just going down low to be calm. Like that's what it's wanting, as opposed to like, look what I did. I created this. I made this. I'm this. Do this for me. Like all this stuff. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense to me. It was like, when like one of the things that people talk about like God now is like, where is he?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he talk to me? Like, cause
excuse me. Where you at?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? But instead,
I can see how that would be really discouraging, but also like we were taught a really poor example of what we were expecting is not reality.
Yeah. We're expecting God to be human.
Yeah. And be like, oh, let me fix all your stuff.
Well, or to act like a human.
Yeah.
But obviously,
yeah.
If that is not the case, because I can't create stuff.
I mean, you created a human.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But that's different. Yeah, that's different.
I don't know. That's some part of like some of my philosophy and like identifiers of myself is we are not separate from our God selves, because also like I don't view separation from other people.
Okay.
We're more of just like different parts of a crystal. I like the idea of a crystal more than a coin, because there's more than one sides of a crystal, and there's more than one sides of ourselves, and I think that's where it's really fun to like relate to people and like see our differences.
Just go to the Tao, man. It's all mutual arising. It's just, it's all works together. Yeah,
or just like that's how I view every person I interact, and that's why I can interact with Marley the same way I would you, just like mutual respect and just like you're another person, because if I walked in your shoes, I'd probably be you too. So, and to not judge people, and just to treat people as they are. Or to not let my judgment of them, like, because we're going to judge people. That's how we that's our safeguard. That's how we take the input and like view what we're seeing.
That's almost the definition of empathy, though. Like you're saying for someone who's like, that's almost, now being an empath is like a stupid superpower you're supposed to have or whatever. I'm not saying it's real or not real.
See, I think that's more sympathetic than empathetic.
No, sympathy is feel bad for someone's situation. Empathy is to be able to walk in their shoes and understand why they feel the way they do.
Oh, I would see sympathy as more of like being able to understand all the aspects of emotion. Just being able to understand where they come from.
That's empathy.
Oh.
Sympathy is like
just sadness?
Well, I can't think of something. I don't want to wish anything on you.
Yeah.
So I can't.
We ain't even going to speak that
I was about to say some awful shit that was going to happen to you, but
don't do that.
Let's say your non-existent dog died.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, your dog died.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, because of the fact that you're sad. That your
really sucks in people's things. They're like, so they hear something. They're like, I'm dying of cancer. Be like, you know what? My aunt died of cancer. And it's like, bitch, it ain't fucking about you or your aunt. Man. Why do people do that?
I don't know. There's some darkness inside of us. It's just like the spotlight always has to go.
It's like, yeah, but not my shit. And it's like, stop.
I guess it would be the opposite of being like water and searching for the lowest calm.
Yeah.
Like you're searching to be like, look at me.
Look at all the things that I did. Look at my sadness.
Yeah, I wouldn't say chaos, but it would be chaos.
That would probably be one of the traits that I really avoid in interacting with other people. Like if I see that people are like that, I just don't give them fuel. Like I just don't tell them anything deep other than superficial things. Was that Marley?
Was that Marley?
I think so. Get the toy.
Oh yeah. She whines when you don't. She doesn't play that much. Yeah, she used to do that all the time. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
It just sounded weird.
Sounded like a ghost.
Yeah, well, because you used to see her at work and never had toys there, so you don't know her. You don't know her crazy side.
Toy life.
Everyone was like, I can't believe she jumps around. I'm like, yeah, man, she does. She can't jump anymore, but she used to.
I mean, I used to get really pumped whenever she would interact for the 5 seconds, and she's like, I'm tired.
I'm good. Hey.
Hi, Marley. You guys can't see her, but she's all bug-eyed because she's that type of dog.
Yeah, don't stop staring at me. It's still in my soul, man. Leave me alone.
I hate that she can't hear me.
Yeah, me too. But get her.
Oh, dogs. My cats are being really silly. Me and my husband were laughing about their time clock. Because, in the morning when I was home all day yesterday, and, they were just chilling. They kind of follow me around, or they'll take their little naps. And then at like 6:45, they have like a spat, and they're just like all over the house. And
it's like fight time.
Yeah, they like trample around. They're trotting around the whole house, and then they got a cat tower, and they're scratching and playing and fighting and having fun. And then they're just like, ugh, and they're done. And they take a nap. And then 8:45 hits, and the middle cat, I say middle because they're all different ages. Man, he goes fucking with shit. He acts like he never gets fed. He is like the most dramatic pet when it comes to food.
Talking about first world problems, your cat. They're like, it's 15 minutes late.
I'm not even late. I feed him at 9 o'clock every night.
Yeah.
But at 8:45, he jumps on our computer. We don't have a fancy computer, so like computer, HDMI cable, boom. So he jumps on the computer. I mean, he has turned off the Wi-Fi, pressed pause, turned off, muted it, turned off,
he's getting
changed the orientation of the screen.
Yeah.
Which I thought took a second to fucking figure out. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, man, this is upside down.
I don't know how to do that. Do you ever?
It's some arrows and like an alt key, whatever.
Had a vibration. It's in my pocket. I don't want to fuck with that.
People are really, whenever they have like their watches on during a massage, and it's like, and they're like, will they fucking stop? I'm like, you could have taken it off.
Yeah.
You have all the power to turn that off.
Man, I hate my Apple Watch. I like it for like activity tracking.
Yeah.
But I don't have it on now. One thing about, sorry, getting all these vibrations. Like one thing about my watch, man, if it dies, I won't charge it for like 2 months.
You're like, eh.
Once it's dead, man.
Like I'm done with that thing.
Yeah, but I don't get text on it, phone call. I turn all that crap off, like where people can't do that to me. So like, people are like, why do you even have it? I was like, I don't know. I have everything Apple. I just bought one.
Like, I'm gonna buy that shit. I mean, I get it. Like some people, especially like at work, they can't have their phone, but they can have their watch.
I just don't want people to have that much contact with me. Like I'm like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like I don't even like having my phone near me half the time.
Like group chats, I ain't about them.
No, I
see their purpose. It's fine. I don't like them.
No, I mute that. I find a way you can mute those. So.
Yeah, mute them individually.
So I don't
Speaking of that, also. Okay. Da 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 da. Okay.
Yeah, I don't get in many group chats anymore. I've kind of burned those bridges.
Mine are all like work shit.
I don't participate in them.
It's fine.
I just stopped participating. So I was like, yeah, no one includes me
like
anymore.
You ain't gotta talk no more.
Yeah,
don't bite my toes. Not that you would.
She wouldn't bite them.
But I don't want you to lick them either.
No, that's a strong.
Don't lick them.
That's 100% possibility that your foot's going to get a bath.
She does like the ankle foot area.
The worst thing, I shouldn't say that. Like, after I get done working out and I take my shoes off, she's like a fucking drug addict. She's just staring at me like, she's, as soon as I start looking at her, she's like, whoom, like straight to my feet and starts licking my feet. I'm just like, man, it's fine.
Yeah. Sam, whenever he's outside, like the cats are just like, and then they just get this face like, they have their mouth open.
Was it Baby Doc? Was it Ron?
Yeah.
That said that he took his cats out on the leash?
I've taken my cat out on the leash.
How weird is that? Is that not like the biggest fight in the history of fights?
No, not if they want to go outside.
That was Marley. Is that Marley?
I mean, I would assume so.
Or is that my kid?
That's her.
I was just saying, because if that's Andre, I need to go check on him. so something ain't right.
Be like, hey, man, you good? You're not using your words.
Yeah. I'm like, why are you crying, man?
No, she just wants her toy. She's like, move that shit. All right, Marley. Bring it to me. Oh, give me your toy, you ding dong. Give it to me.
That's a fun word. I didn't put that back in the fray.
You old ding dong?
Yeah, ding dong. That's a funny one.
That's a good one. It's like enough of an emphasis without being rude.
Yeah, it's like a wiener joke, but it's not like brash.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like cock. That kind of rubs a little weird.
It's like, woof. What's that one show, Spartacus? They say Jupiter's cock a lot.
Yeah, they
so
do.
much cussing. That's a very uncomfortable show to watch with your siblings. It's just like,
there's a lot of wieners in that show.
I mean, he just does this like, I'm like, wow, that was graphic.
Yeah. It's a good show though.
I mean, it was a great show. I ain't mad at it, but maybe don't watch it with your brother and his friend. And I'm like, I'm going to leave.
I remember when I started watching, I was like, everyone's naked and they're just fighting and fucking.
There's a lot of titties with like conversation. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean,
whatever.
You got me to watch it.
I mean, I watched all of it. It's fine. Twice. It's fine.
We're like, I watched the whole thing.
It is just a lot to experience at one time when you're just like not expecting it, and it's like early, and you're like eating eggs, and you're like, oh.
It is weird how it's different because like, stop it.
Marley is like, where's my fucking headphones? I want to be on the podcast.
She should be on the podcast. If I had 3 wishes, one of my wishes would be that she could talk.
She'd just sit here.
Well, that would be part of it, but I just want her to talk.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to throw at her. It's like really
I
shaking.
mean, you got a pillow. You just
yeah, but I might knock over the whole tripod.
Yeah, you probably would.
Have you ever thought about that? If you have 3 wishes, what would you wish for? I think about that
all the time.
Yeah, I think about
all the time.
All the time. I have mine nailed down.
Yeah, there's a few of them that like it's hard to, it goes a little back and forth between like wanting to do stuff for self versus the humanity as a whole, because there's a lot of things.
Oh, I never thought about humanity as a whole.
Oh yeah,
man,
that's usually.
I feel bad now. That went all.
I mean, mine's always like the first two is like fix the planet, world hunger kind of stuff, and then man, I got such a bleeding heart. I'm just like, let me help all of you. And then the other one would be like, I want superpowers.
None of mine are for the other people. I feel bad now. I'm like, oh man,
that's okay.
One of my first one would be a money box.
So every time, like money would be in that box.
Every time I open the box, like $1 million in there or 100,000, whatever
you need.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's a good question. It could be. I just want a money box.
Yeah.
Because I always think about this as if like the genie always has got like a little FU. Like, well, like, you get a wish, but like it kind of like ruins your life. You ever seen those like TV shows where you get a wish?
Yeah. Well, also people don't know how to be like really specific. And if they're selfish, like there's ramifications to being selfish.
So I want a money box. I feel like nothing too bad could happen if I get a money box.
Yeah.
And then,
maybe people can steal from it.
Well,
which I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Be like, okay. You need some motherfucking money? Like, all right, take it.
Like open the box.
Just take the box and be like, you need some shit?
No, you can't take the box. I'll open the box for you.
Like, yeah, you need some from that shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
I would have a money box, and then I would be able to teleport.
Teleportation is awesome. Energize.
Yeah, and then Marley would live as long as I live and could talk. That's a double wish. That's kind of 4 wishes. But I'm trying to cheat. That's what I want.
An immune.
I would say Marley would live forever, but I don't know if she wants to live forever. I don't think I want to live forever.
I mean, if you listen to any vampire story, it's not I mean, it's fun for a little bit, and you're like, hey.
It seems to be about the 3rd lifetime. People are like,
I'm kind of fucking tired of this.
This is lame.
That's where that emo stuff comes in.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I'm selfish. When I die, she could die.
Yeah, it's like you can die when I die, not before.
Yeah, not before. That's selfish. Like I can't handle it.
I don't want to deal with that.
I feel like she would have either a British accent or a very thick Savannah Southern. Like just
I would go with Southern because her name's Marley.
Yeah, like a uppity Southern, like a rich Southern, not like a redneck Southern.
Yeah,
like, there's a difference. There's a distinct difference.
They're very different.
Yeah, so I feel like that's how she would go.
She'd be a little lady.
Maybe.
Little lady of the plantation.
I feel like she would be like, I'm so disappointed in you. She'd be like, I saw you.
Our animals would just be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, she's seen the best of me and the worst of me.
Be like, I see what you do all day.
Because I got her when I was like 24 or something like that.
Are you a garbage? My garbage lifetime was when I was like 13 to 16. I was a trash person.
I don't know if I've had a trash lifetime.
I just was selfish and angry for no reason.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I had to put my most trashiest spurt. I guess it would be high school. Yeah, I mean, high school was just being dumb.
And I say that though, and my friends are like, Sarah, you were never mean. And I was like, oh, I thought I was a piece of shit.
Well, maybe that's why you're awesome now.
I guess so.
You gotta have like self-reflection.
Realizations of your shitty stuff.
Yeah, you gotta have both. No one's good, no one's bad.
Yeah.
So you look at that was a shit garbage version of me, and look how awesome I am now.
Like, yeah, we're not going to do that again.
No more.
I was like, nope. That is not a way to, I mean, you just like being angry. Like I keep saying this little thing. It's mostly like with cats, like doing something in the act of terror, like terror and terrorization of stuff, biting. And it's like you woke up and chose violence and chaos. That was me. That was like my MO. Like I woke up with the act of like choosing chaos. Cause like people have always told me stuff. So just being like, man, you want to hear some shit that I know? And it's like, I know how to hold my shit, but the person I told didn't. Yeah. So
I don't know if,
and it never affected my life, which I thought was the most fucked up.
Yeah.
Is it didn't ever affect me, but it probably affected other people.
If I could do a redo, I would redo my 30s, which I'm currently in, but I would redo my 30s.
Yeah. There's like 2 people I wish I could apologize to.
I mean, I guess you could.
I could, but I also don't feel like a lot of it was my fault.
But then you're not fully
exactly.
You're not quite there yet.
I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah. You got to apologize for your 2% of the 100% fault. You know what I mean? Like that's hard to do though. You suck, but let me apologize.
But I also ain't mad about it. But I was like, there was enough to where I could be like, I probably I could have been kinder in the situation, or how it ended could have been kinder.
If you only have 2 people, that's pretty good.
Hey, man.
That's a pretty good ratio of people to apologize ratio.
Yeah.
I'd redo my 30s.
I would say those are the only 2 people that were either like super mad at me, where like things were probably my fault. And I could have just been like, you know what? I was really shitty of me, and I'm sorry.
My bad.
I'm sorry. I was a shitty person.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Let me hug you, or just get the fuck out your life. And now you at least know that I was trash too.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, man, you could do that in like 20 minutes. You could knock those 2 out. You can have 0 people in your life you feel like you need to apologize. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy awesome.
Yeah. Step 9 of an AA program.
You should do it, man.
Should do it.
Then you can be like, I have nobody I need to apologize to.
Yeah, be like, we're good.
That's a gangster move. You're like, no, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm at 100% peace with the universe.
Karma taken care of. Marley's enjoying that pillow you threw at her.
That's why I know. Don't even do it. Go lay on your bed.
Just like, this is my motherfucking pillow now.
She loves soft, man.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, that's true. So tell me about your life living in 3 separate robes in one day. Because you texted me like, I've been in 3 robes today.
It was really great. So the mornings start off, it's dry. It's like wintertime. So moisturization. So like a big fluffy robe, a lot of people, they'll put like cream on their feet, lotion on their feet, and put the big fuzzy socks on. So the day started with sleeping. I woke up at 7, got out of bed by 10.
Nice.
That's the kind of life I had. My cats won't leave the bed until I do. They'll go eat, but they will come back, and they won't leave until I do. They're like checking on me, but like, girl, you okay?
You're like, we doing this?
We doing this?
Be
like, not ready.
She ain't ready yet.
She ain't ready yet.
This ain't it.
So got up, got showered, moisturized, head to toe. It was great. Robe. And then I was like, I ain't fucking going anywhere. I did dishes, did all the home stuff. And then I got a new robe that's like, so the first robe was like big, white, fluffy to the floor. Very thick. Marley's taking full advantage of this pillow. It's fucking cute. Oh, precious. Anywho, then I have this new robe from a friend that's like a really pretty teal, got peacocks all over it.
Nice.
And I was just like, I'm being fucking fancy because Sam was about to come home. And I don't like to look rough when Sam gets home. That's like a wife thing.
Gotcha.
It's very 50s housewife. I like the term that there's a domestic housewife because that like insinuates that there's like a feral housewife. And I take that.
You take feral?
I take feral housewife.
All right.
But I do like to look nice when Sam gets home.
You're a feral house cat with domestic tendencies.
Yeah. So that's
well, I mean, you live in a house, so you kind of have to be domestic to a place.
We're not doing crazy shit.
You're not feral.
We're not feral,
you're not homeless.
but there's some feral tendencies also in with that domestication. But anywho, I like to look nice when my husband comes home, so I changed robes.
That's funny. Like, what'd you have to do to look nice? I put on a different robe.
I blow dried my hair, and I put some makeup on, or like mascara. I don't really wear makeup, and then later through the evening when I was in that robe, the blue tealy robe, my feet were kind of cold. So I put socks on that were black, and I was like, well, this don't match. So I moved on to my black robe.
All right. Tell me about the black robe. What's that about? What's that black robe life?
Sassy.
Yeah. How can you have a sassy robe?
It's a little shorter.
Okay.
It's just shorter robe.
See, why didn't you put that on when Sam got there?
Because it was still daytime. And
what's the robe rules? What are these unwritten robe rules?
I don't know. Whatever I feel.
It's true. You're feral.
It's my robe life. I have 5 now.
That's legit.
Yeah.
I still only got the 1.
Yeah. You gotta tap into like what you want.
I don't know, man. I don't know what I want.
I mean, you gotta like, what colors do you want to invoke? What what patterns are you trying to feel? You should get like a nice shaman robe.
Ooh.
You need to get like a full white. You need something full white. That's a definitely like good energetic thing to be cleansed. So like whenever you're meditating and things like that, you can bring on that property of like pure nothingness so that you can tap into what you need. The Kundalini is like that. There's a lot of different traditions where you wear all white. Even like in people who are Mormons, they wear like a white.
Kundalini, it's got some weird stuff in it.
It does.
I'm not saying it's bad, but it's unusual.
It definitely has some interesting properties.
I can't remember any of them off the top of my head, but I remember hearing some things. I was like, whoa.
But the wearing all white is one of them so that you can embody different frequencies.
I like the fire breath. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
When he's like, yeah. Yeah, I like that one.
That one's good.
That makes my head feel funny.
Yeah, That's
the whole point, though, right? Like, you're supposed to be like to entice DNA. I've been trying to work on that, like try to meditatively
DNA code like activation.
No, yes, but I've been trying to induce a DMT trip via breathing and meditation.
Yeah.
You can apparently do that, but you got to be really good at it.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
Practice.
Yeah, practice, right? So I'm going to do it one day.
Got to condition that brain. Be like, oh, this is where we going?
I'm trying to, man. So I did that for a long time, probably like an hour the other day, which is, I didn't do the fire breath for an hour. I think I would pass out. I don't think you're supposed to do it for that long, are you?
Yeah, I think it is a pretty short practice. I'm not very versed on it, but I would assume that it's more of like a short energetic burst, because you do want to fire up your core, whether, if you've done any type of exercise, you want to warm up. So if a breathing exercise, you want to warm up your core, triple heater. That's what it's called.
Yeah. So what was I going to tell you? Oh man, I thought you would like it.
Meditation.
Oh yeah. So I did that. And then like right after I did that, I was listening or reading to something. I don't remember what it was. And it was talking about how we forget about the subtle context of the world, which sounds pretty cool when you say it. But it was like, the example was like, when you open up a book, which you don't read, but if you were to read,
I'll get there.
If you were to read a page in a book, you would like open it, and we only talk about the words, or you see the words. It made me think about it because you said something about the black words on the white paper the other day, and I've never heard anyone mention the paper. Yeah. Right? You don't ever hear it. That's not a thing. And they were saying like no one, and I think I was listening to something. No one ever pays attention to the page. But it's only the words in the paper that people pay attention to.
There's literally a halo whenever I see black words on white paper. It's very distracting.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like I can, most people can kind of get it whenever they're looking at like black and white stripes or things like that. When they move, you can kind of see the colors within. I don't know if this has something to do with like just my obsession with like seeing more than one color at one time and like seeing the different variants of colors and like seeing the whole gradient. Or if it's just due to bad vision, because I 100% know I have light damage from staring at suns and mag lights. And
why are you staring at the sun, man?
Because I fucking like it. It's like, I can see that shit. Give me a second.
I can see it all.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be like, like people don't pay attention. Shouldn't say don't pay attention to the page. And it was this way of thinking of like the context is so important, because like without the page, the words wouldn't exist. Yeah. And like you don't ever pay attention to these things. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's true. But I was like, well, how profound is that in that one instance? Slightly. But then he started, I can't remember if I listened or read. I can't remember. Sorry. If I go between listen and read. Yeah. And it was like, and then they were talking about the space between people. Like, like I'm focused on you and we're talking. But like, there's we don't know what the space between us is. Like we can't perceive what that actually is, and like how much information and values there. We don't even pay attention to it.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool thing whenever you do step into the realm of psychedelics, like, people kind of know like the cues, like people's pupils get bigger, and it's like, you literally have more range to perceive the light around you. Yeah. And so you can see different wavelengths, and that's where like the tracing and the breathing of stuff kind of comes into play. Like I have never experienced like doing LSD or doing psilocybin and being like, wow, there's something right there. There's never been like a mouse reading a book sitting next to me. That's never happened.
That'd be kind of cool though.
It'd be cute. But the texture, the breath, the geometric fractals, that I have 100% seen over and over and over again.
The repeating patterns of fractals in human history are cool. Yeah. Like the
DMT aspect of fractals, like you want to talk about
fractals. Oh my gosh. It's all, if you don't know what fractals are, you should just Google it. Google image it, because like it's like,
just Google it. Yeah. You'll not be disappointed.
Yeah. Fractals are cool, man. Fractals are super cool. And then so I was like, okay, that's kind of profound, like on the page, and space between people. That's kind of cool. Then they were talking about space, like the whole universe. Yeah. We talk about the star and the planets or whatever, but like, what is space? Like it's the page to the book and the planet, all the stuff, us, Earth.
We can't have the words without
words and all this stuff. And like, well, what is space? And I was like, I don't know what is space. It's the white page, man. I was just like, what? Then I was like, well, how many pages are there? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just started thinking about, like, is there a library of space? Like, it's just one, close it, and there's like a whole shelf of spaces. Yeah.
There's a really cool concept in the TV show Magicians, where they go to like this ethereal place.
I can't get in that one, man. They just try to like hook up and sex it up.
They're like foxes having sex. But the library.
I'm not against it, but like it's really to me it's kind of forced.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a TV show, but the idea that there's the librarian that has all the information, like that's kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
Like people can go get their book and like see where their life ends and stuff like that. There's been a few. Yeah, because you didn't watch it enough.
I can't get into it, man. I started watching it. I was like, this show's not for me. It's not written for me. Like,
yeah, how I watch TV, if like I'm just kind of not interested in it, like I'll go through and like I may scroll on my phone and do something else or talk to a few people or go do dishes and just have noise in. And then you kind of just ears perk whenever something else comes into. Like they go into a really common description of like fairies and how they can see different things and how fairies aren't always mean, but they're kind of like, don't fuck with me because I will ruin you.
You've seen Tinkerbell? She's sassy.
She's sassy
man.
as fuck,
yeah,
man.
She's sassy, man.
Or like one of the things is like fairies, like if you, like it was a, not an allegory, like a, what am I trying to say? What's that word?
An allegory is a story that has a meaning to it. Like
not that. Not a legend or whatever. It was like a thing. If you had a fussy child, fairies stole your real child and gave you like a goblin dressed up as your child and to like cause you grief. Gotcha. Like if you walk through their fairy ring and they're like, fuck you, I'm going to steal your baby for a bit.
Isn't that what pissed off gnomes do? Elves? Didn't we talk about that one time?
Yeah, I think it's fairies though.
Oh, it's fairies now.
I think it's fairies.
Okay, I thought it was gnomes.
Or elves.
Or elves.
Yeah, I think it's fairies. Because they're kind of mischievous.
I didn't know that.
And I mean, and your baby's fine. And they'll give it back to you when they fucking decide to.
You could have it back.
Whenever I think you're ready to, and I think you've had enough punishment.
Do you have Disney Plus? You probably don't, do you?
I mean, we watch Mandalorian, but I haven't really.
Oh, you watched Mandalorian?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Everyone's really like, whenever it's like, oh, that's not Baby Yoda. Which I was kind of thinking, I was like, how can this timeline work that he's such a baby?
No, everyone knew it wasn't Baby Yoda.
Oh, I didn't know it wasn't actually Baby Yoda.
Everyone knew it. That's what we called it because they didn't give his name until like that, whatever.
Is it Grogu?
Mm-hmm.
Cutie.
Yeah, that was one of like the cliffhangers. Like no one knows his name or whatever.
Yeah.
But everyone did this, so you had to call him something.
Yeah.
And just called him Baby Yoda.
He's so cute.
So good. So on there's a show called WandaVision.
Haven't seen it.
It's brand new.
Wanda
Vision, because that's two characters.
WandaVision.
Yeah,
okay.
It's two characters from like all the big, huge Marvel movies. One's Scarlet Witch and one's Vision.
Oh,
and
yeah.
One Scarlet Witch's name is Wanda.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, it's okay. It's kind of but it's like huge production. It's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So the show is okay. That's not what I want to talk about. Unless you want to talk about, you haven't seen it, but like, it's fine. It's a big deal. But so at the end, they zoom out of like this fake reality of the show, and they're like in this like fancy laboratory where they're like monitoring what's going on. They have equipment that looks cool and stuff.
Is it kind of like a simulation?
Yeah, but she creates it, and so like there's people like trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
But anyways, like so, like just to give you, so they zoom out of this fake thing that she creates with her chaos magic, and then there's like, so they're in a laboratory with like fancy high tech gear, and one of the main things they have on screen is this thing.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's this Rode Podcaster, which is this thing unit where it's exact
same one.
It's
like, I'm making a fucking universe.
Yeah. So it's just kind of funny. So when I watched it, I was just like looking at it. It was the last 2, 3, 4 seconds of the show, and I was like, I have one of those.
Like, I know that.
Yeah, it's exact. So it's not like a replica. It is that. It is this, and I was just like, word.
Cool.
I got technology, but I was just like, how crazy is that?
That is cool.
Yeah, there you go.
I really wish there was like I said, we've been watching a lot of Star Trek, and there's like the holodeck.
Yeah,
that's just cool.
Yeah,
that's super fun.
It could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen holographic. I haven't seen like these holographic concerts, but I have been to shows where they do like over the water, like a full holographic.
I always want to see one where they bring back a dead person on hologram.
Yeah, like they've done Michael Jackson and Tupac and stuff like that. So this one's usually been just like something, like an image and like on recording. And it's really cool because it's like a projector with like mist. And so the mist is creating the medium for the projection to happen on. And I've seen things like in museums, like having this big whale or circus shows without using any animals.
Well, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen.
So, I'm sure the technology is there. We just haven't put our resources towards it because they're like, let's like get more guns and bombs and shit.
Yeah, or like bicker over things that don't actually matter.
Fuck.
So I don't know if you saw it because I think I sent it to you or somebody. Like I got my son into parkour.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yeah. Chase is such a good dude.
Yeah, man.
He's a really good instructor. It's bananas how good he is with kids.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
He definitely gets it. So Columbus, we're in this area. Chase, he's a good dude.
He's a good dude, man.
He's a good dude.
So parkour, basically, if you Google it, it's like an urban sport where you quickly go over obstacles in a creative way.
They say it's called like urban gymnastics, something
like that.
There's some word.
Yeah, but he asked me what the word meant, and I Googled it, and that was the definition of the word. So like my son's only been to 3 classes, so he's not like a super ninja yet or anything. But it's the only thing that we found. Again, he's only 7. It's the only thing we found so far that's physical besides play. Besides just going and playing.
Constructive play, like let's get into your body, and you have to like really practice at it because it's like precision.
Yeah, that he likes. Like he's done other things, but he doesn't.
Not into it.
He just does it because there's kids there, and he has a good time. Like when we went and played soccer, like he doesn't even go after the ball.
I didn't go after the ball.
He just wants to race his friends down to the other end of the goal.
My favorite part was just I like just kicking the ball back and forth.
He doesn't even care. He just want to race.
No, just with one person. That's the best part. But I like using like technical footwork.
Yeah. So
that's about it.
But then we did T-ball and like it was fine.
Like, fuck that.
He just like being on a team. Like even a T-ball, like the last game.
He doesn't seem like he's too big into like, I want to fucking win. Unless it's like Uno or Mario Kart.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't seem like that kind of like competitive. Like I want to win the game.
He's competitive with me.
Yeah.
But no one else, if that makes sense. Like maybe some other people, but like not other kids necessarily.
Yeah, that's why he's never been. He wants to play, but he wants to play with you. He doesn't want to beat you. He wants to play with you.
Yeah, he's very kind. I made him. I did make him technically.
Yeah,
half of it. But like we did work on his kindness. That was always to me that was my job. I was like, I'm gonna make this dude socially.
This motherfucker gonna be kind of shit.
To other kids, he's super cool, right?
Yeah.
But he's never got into anything physical besides play. Like he will run and like we go to the playground and he just crush for hours. Like he loves it. But like anything else, he doesn't really get into it unless he just likes the other kid, the social aspect of it. Except for this.
Yeah.
So this thing, we're going to go all on this until.
Do it. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be so good for like body awareness and like spatial perception. And
he's already
proprioception.
He's already way better. And like the kids that have been doing it for like a year, like they're like freaking ninjas, man. Like,
they can do just front flips, standing.
Yeah, it's crazy. So like I'm excited for him. And I liked it, man. Cause like for me, like I saw like him go through it and like, so he went to a class and people they know each other's names. They know what to do. They're good at it already. Like, so he went into this unknown situation to do something hard that he doesn't have the skill to do because he's never done it before.
Yeah.
He did it with a smile. I loved it because that's hard to do. But then he failed all the way through.
Yeah.
And he got up and he got better at it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's what I've been trying to do, man. And he loved it. He's like, I'm going to get better.
That's a dad pat right there.
Yeah. But there's a lot of I think too many people are soft now because they never did anything hard as a kid or in life.
Yeah.
Where they were like, no, that was hard, but this is cool and I'm going to get better at it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to find something, and I don't want him to like what I like. I want him to like whatever he likes. So like this seems to be the thing.
This is it.
Yeah, because this is like I pick him up from school. He's like, Dad, we going to class today? I'm like, yeah, man, let's go. Like, so
you said he does it Tuesdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays.
Some
Yeah,
cool stuff.
Yeah, man. So he's if you want to watch it, I got videos on Instagram. Proud Dad. Like you can watch him.
Be like, look at my boy.
Yeah, man. He went down a wall yesterday. It just crashed.
Dude, parent stuff, man. That just cracks me up so much. They're like, look at my kid.
Yeah, man. Whenever you get one, you'll get it.
And you'd be like, look at that.
You're like, look at that guy.
My favorite are people who have newborns. And they're not ready for how much they're like about to love this little motherfucker.
It's weird, man. Because
just like, look at it.
Because when it comes out, like you just met it. Like I've known you for an hour.
Yeah.
I love you more than anything in the world.
And it's crazy too when you look at your spouse. You're like, yeah, I love you, but like, I'd murder for this person.
Yeah, right. Like so, like even.
And it's like I know I just met this moth, but shit, it's my dude.
Yeah. So I'm really proud of him. I'm really happy as a dad. Like to have him do something physical in his body. That's hard that he fails at, and then
got back up
and he's getting better at it.
Yeah,
so it's really cool. Yeah, it's cool, and it's hard because like the wood's hard, man. Like
I mean,
like he's got bruises, and he's 7, man. I was like,
yeah,
man,
I mean, they have padding and protection, but I mean,
it's falls, but like when they grab, I mean, like
it's still wood,
it's plywood,
and bars.
Yeah, so it's cool.
Especially whenever they do, like I've seen some things where it's like a bar, like a piece of piping that you like balance, run over, and then you like jump onto a box, and then you're gonna grab a bar, which I have soft hands, like monkey bars will tear my shit up. So So yeah, you definitely have to get better at it, and like you have to be okay with the like discomfort and keep moving.
Yeah. So it's like as a dad, I'm like, yeah. Finally, we found it. And I'm sure it'll change, but like right now, I'm like, okay, cool. We'll go all in on this.
That's too fun.
Yeah, it's super cool, man. He's getting better. Like I said, I've been to 3 classes over 3 weeks. He's way better now than we started. So
That's cool. How are the other kids? Are they like super encouraging?
Great.
Like, yeah, man. It's like keep going.
It's awesome.
like, oh, you got to do this. Like, yeah, man. Be careful of that little step. Like it's a doozy.
Yeah, they're just. It's great.
Yeah,
it's super cool.
I've seen some other kids that people like but you don't know, but you know them pretty good through social media, and like you're seeing them grow up and stuff.
Just because like you liked one video and then like you see all their pictures.
Yeah, like I just follow their stuff. So and like she's got little kids that are skateboarding now.
That's awesome.
And she's got a little girl. Like her older son, he's cool. He's one of the first kids I've ever met. I was hanging out with some friends and they were doing like we were getting like a phone charger or like a battery charger for a camera because our friend was pregnant and the charger was at this other girl's house. And this woman that I'm talking about, it's her son. He was the first person that was ever like talking about DBZ, Dragon Ball Z. And he was like, yeah, da 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 da. And I was like, yeah, my favorite guy is Piccolo. He's like, you know who Piccolo is? And I was like, yeah, man. And so he was just like, word, what? Like, that's cool.
That's all.
Like, just met you. And I was like, Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, I was pretty shocked.
I know Dragon Ball Z.
I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty shocked when I said something about Dragon Ball going Super Saiyan or whatever. And you know what I was talking about? I was like,
I know that joke.
I was like, what do you know?
I've seen it.
What do you know about Goku? What do you know, man?
I know they're all named after vegetables.
Yeah, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. But that kid was probably like 5 when I met him, and now he's a little dude. Yeah. But he's got a little sister who wasn't even a thing at the time, and she's fucking skateboarding.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
And she's cute as shit.
Like I wanted him to be good at
she's younger than him.
Yeah.
And she's doing she's getting up on like the half pipe and cool. Going, and she's cool with falling, and she's a little badass, and I'm really excited to see what she does in life. And I'm just, that's a good mama, and they're about to have another baby, and I'm just like, that's a cool family.
I brought this up to somebody, like the parkour thing. I think it was one of these new feminine energies. And they were like, what about ballet and art or something? And I was like,
they'll figure that out too.
No, but I was just like, man, I was just like, why you got to combat something that's awesome with
something that's not awesome, but it's like that's not what I was going for.
No, but like I want them exposed to everything, like me. Like I don't know if I wasn't, but like I want to. We do art. We do it every morning. We wake up. We have our affirmations and our art projects. We do all this stuff. He reads. He goes to private school. He goes to a religious school. He does video games.
Exposed to a lot.
Yeah, man. Like, and then he's exposed to me, the way I talk and think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he's got this stuff. He's very social. He's got all this stuff. The only component he didn't have was that thing that he really his physical body needed besides play, like some structure. And I just was like, get out of here, lady. But I was like, no, all that stuff's great. You should do that. He already has found that his niches in these other genres. I'm just excited about this one, Yeah. So I just hate when you get excited about something and someone's going
to be like, let me kind of squash that with my stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like when people they're not good at actively listening, and they have to let me interject what I want to say.
Yeah, and especially if you know me, because I'm for all of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, he's got to do this, and you can't ever play the piano, or I'm like, nah, man, be the.
It's like he ain't fucking into it. Like he's not going to sit down and do that shit right now.
But I'm like, be a master piano, be a painter. Be good at this. Do it all, man. Be good at all of it, man.
Yeah, I don't know why we got away from the Renaissance life. Like, why can't we be good at a lot of things or mediocre at a lot of stuff?
Yeah, or just like it.
Yeah.
Like I like a lot of things I'm not great at, but I just like it. Like he likes a lot of stuff. Like he just didn't have a like in this interest, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
The failure and getting better makes me very excited because I know that'll translate.
Yeah,
positively.
that's going to be a really good trait to have as growing into a young man and to an adult. That'll be good.
And then I want to have something to do with his physical energy because I know as a youngster I had physical energy, and then if I didn't have an outlet for it, I'd freak out. That's what
blowing up eggs and shit.
Yeah, that's when people get in trouble. They get bored. They do. That's when you start going down some weird rabbit holes. So that's when I go all in on stuff, and it can be I don't necessarily I'm not gonna say that. It could be piano or I'm all in. Like if he becomes, that'd be great if he was a master pianist or like artist. I'm like freaking for it, man. But he still needs to be healthy physically. Like you know what I mean, it doesn't take away from the fact that you still have to be healthy physically.
Like learning how to read sheet music is awesome. But you ever sat at the piano for a few hours? That shit sucks in your body.
Yeah, like I don't want to be.
And as like body people, we're just like, oh no, you need to move.
Yeah, you got to, man.
You have to. You will literally break down.
Yeah.
And stop functioning well.
Yeah, and you go insane, especially when you're like 16. Like you just go insane.
Yeah.
If you just like
breaking stuff.
Yeah, man, that's why people get in trouble. Well, that's one reason why they get in trouble.
Being bored and not having an outlet. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can't speak to being a lady because I've never been one, so I don't know what it feels like. But I know as like it's
still some fucking angst, man.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm not saying it's not that. I'm saying I can't.
Yeah, I can't relate to it.
Well, I can't say I can't relate to it. I've never felt it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure it's there, but like I know what I felt, and my friends that like I know, like and you could see like the ones that had like an outlet.
Yeah.
And how beneficial that was. So I'm just trying to find that.
Yeah.
And he found it. Well,
that's
for
cool.
now, it might change. It's fine.
Whatever but I mean, it's cool
for
now. He's excited, and that's cool.
Yeah, anything he's into, like I'm like, yes, let's do. I'm all in. Let's do it. So like, I never steer him. I was like, "So you want to try this? Yeah, cool. Let's do it." I say, "Hey, do you want to try it?" I guess that is steering a little bit, but it's because he's.
I mean,
he was 5 years old.
It is still your job to like open doors and be like, "You want to do that?" And be like, "All right, cool."
Yeah,
I mean,
he was 5, 6, 7. Like, he didn't know words. He didn't even know what the stuff was. So you have to steer him. So, I was like, who told it? I can't remember what it was. Someone was saying like, if you raise like raising kids, like you raise cattle and sheep.
Yeah.
Like, do you really want to raise a kid? No. And I was like, oh man,
like what shit?
Yeah, he's like, it was that dude, the Hindu dude, the Indian cat with the beard.
The
beard dude, the cool dude, that dude.
What was that? I forgot. But yeah, I know the face.
That dude, yeah. And he was like, you don't want to do that. You want to encourage life.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yes,
that's what I want to do.
That's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, right. So when I heard, I was like, I never say raising him anymore. I say encouraging his life. People look at me like I'm a crazy person. I'm like, well.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I heard a dude with a beard say it, so you know it's true.
He's had some discipline in life, so I should probably check out what he's saying. I get that experience a lot of being really appreciative of people who, a term I use a lot is lived in their bodies longer than I have.
Yeah.
I don't, because like calling someone old, like that's weird.
Well.
And inaccurate.
How's it inaccurate?
I mean, it's not old.
Well, chronologically, I guess.
I mean,
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, but it's like, but what am I basing my timeline off of?
That's true.
Older than me, sure.
That's true.
But, and also it's like to put that on.
But it's not older than the oak tree out there, I guess.
Exactly.
Or,
so it's all perspective.
This earth that we're on, like whatever.
Yeah. So to me, like when I meet someone in their 50s and 60s, I was like, you're older than me, but you ain't old.
Yeah.
Like the sun is old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of have this innocent thought about like humans. I think we're just like cute little tiny things and we're just so silly.
We are so silly. It's crazy. Like, this is on Joe Rogan's, like, I think it's on his comedy special. Mm-hmm. He's got a bit where he's talking about where whatever we are, we're on a rock.
Yeah.
That's spinning around a fireball that's hurling through infinity.
Yeah.
And I was like, when he said that, I was like, it's all true. And I was like, I can't understand that. Like, that's crazy. I can't understand infinity. Like that is, I know what the word means, but like I can't understand space being infinite. Yeah. Like you can't get to the end of it. That doesn't.
Once you tap into that, you're like, oh.
But it doesn't make sense. I mean, like, how can something go on forever? Like, you know what I mean? Where's the space for space? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you start thinking about it.
That, like you were talking about earlier, it's the simultaneousness.
Yeah.
It's like that's simultaneous doesn't ever end.
It's true. But like, you know, everything that's a thing you could put in another thing. Or you can see the edges of it. You know what I mean? Like,
that's that nice fractal life. And you're like, how far can I go? Because you can go both ways with fractals. Like you can you can definitely constantly expand. You can't constantly go within.
Yeah, it's like
it does end.
I understand a lot. Like I could say a lot of these things, and like, but when I really think about them, and like, if I had to defend them, which is what I try to do in my brain, defend them or whatever, and I'm like, what? It doesn't make me not believe them or whatever, but it just makes it kind of like get a little deeper. You're like, how can space be infinite, man? Like, how can that be a thing? Like, it doesn't end. Where did it start? Even like Big Bang or whatever. Like, where did the two particles come from? Where did the space blew up into? How did it get there? Like, I don't, like, I'm like,
and that's your Big Bang.
Yeah. Then I was like, bourbon. Like, I can't.
The warm love.
Got a whole wine rack over there.
I see it. And you're like, bourbon.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of those bottles. Those work bottles I bought with all the red caps.
Yeah.
It's not because they're old work bottles.
But yeah, just the wine that's in
it
them.
gives me a headache, man. Like instantaneously. I get it instantaneous. It tastes good.
You can stain stuff with them. You can tie dye with them if you want.
With the wine? Mm-hmm. All right. That'd be kind of a dope shirt.
Yeah. You could take what's in it and
it's fancy wine.
I think spray bottle.
I think it was like, I can't take these off. I think it was like
right, and glasses are stuck behind them.
Yeah, sorry. I think it was like $50 for a bottle or something. So that's pretty pricey wine.
Yeah.
I try to get into wine when all my friends were all fancy winos.
Winers, mostly just whiners.
Yeah, man. I can't do it, man. I'm just like, I can't do it, man.
There's some wine that's like tasty.
Yeah, but like I can't be like, I can't collect it and like get like
I think I like the idea of a wine cellar more than I want it filled up with wine.
Well, I would like a wine cellar filled with wine, but I would never drink it.
I would want a wine cellar filled up with like other tasty things.
Like what?
I don't know. Just a hodgepodge of stuff.
Beef jerky, Sour Patch Kids.
I love that. You just like describe Sam's favorite snacks. Savory, meaty, filling, and then he's all about the sour gummy.
I got a couple of bottles of bourbon in there. Some I don't like. They're chilling in the wine rack. It's not wine.
The only alcohol I have on display is all like empty German bottles.
Nice.
A lot of them I've gotten like.
I don't have a wine cellar though. Like I gotta put it somewhere.
I just like the idea of like hidden dungeon. I'm such like a romanticized with architect and architecture. That's not a word.
I think it should be though.
Yeah.
I get it.
Like castles and stuff.
One of those bottles.
So cool.
One of those bottles is champagne.
Champagne's fun. You got to be careful. Pop your eye out.
It's true.
I'm gonna have a lot of champagne for my birthday.
I don't ever really drink champagne, man. Not even on New Year's.
It is kind of intense whenever it's like not at the right temperature because you take a sip and it's like all air, but you're like, but it's liquid, but it's air, and I just burped.
But then if you mix it with orange juice, it's fantastic.
It's so good.
It's like, oh no. It's like, oh no, this is exactly what I needed.
Yeah, but man, orange juice it's just kind of a fucked up as a product. It's
Did you put orange juice in there?
No, I just drank that. Oh no, I put the ginger beer in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was OJF.
It's fucking nothing but sugar.
Well, I mean,
like real orange juice, sure, but like orange juice that you buy at the store, it's like that's rude.
You're rude. You're a rude product.
Did I ever tell you about what my dad called Tropicana?
No.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't ever buy that kind. I buy like the organic, crunchy kind.
Yeah. You granola ass.
I'm an old crunchy dad, man.
I am too.
Yeah.
No, we're just like going in the grocery aisle, and my dad's like Topeka. Topeka. And I'm like, all right, Dad, you're feeling yourself, Topeka. And we're like going down the thing. And he wants to find it. And he picks it up. And I immediately start like dying laughing because it's Tropicana. But he was calling it Topeka. Topeka.
I don't even know if this might be before your time or they might still have it. But I was a kid, like Andre's age. They used to have, cinnamon rolls, like the container cinnamon rolls are in, like whatever that tube is. They used to have frozen orange juice in those containers.
Yeah, Minute Maid had some of that stuff.
Yeah, okay.
You just stick it in, yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking
Limeade,
about?
oh yeah.
Okay, so that's still a thing.
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
I used to see my grandma get that thing out and let it defrost. I'd be like,
I'm gonna get some orange juice. No, we had a lot of Tang.
Yeah.
Tang was good.
Yeah, you think
Kool-Aid.
So? Yeah, I had a lot of Kool-Aid.
That Country Time.
Yeah, Crystal Light.
Never really had the Crystal Light.
Oh man, that's a pretty southern thing because they had Crystal Light tea and lemonade. Like that was their top two. And
I mean the country's whatever was like a lemonade thing.
Yeah,
and you'd mix
I know Country Time. You used to get in that little tub, and you like hot chocolate tub. You'd open it up, and scoop some scoops in there.
You do a lot of scoops because you're like, fuck it.
You're like, you don't tell me instructions. You're not the boss of me.
Like Southern things. Like I was introduced. I was introduced to those very late.
Yeah,
I was like 13 before I tried sweet tea.
But that's crazy. What about grits?
I mean, I had it. We didn't eat it.
Yeah, grits is one of those things. Like if I were introduced to grits now, I'd be like, meh.
I mean, it's tasty.
Yeah,
you put salt. I mean, it's a carb.
It's a conveyor of butter.
It's like I just want my cheese and salt and butter flavor, and that was its vehicle into my mouth.
What about biscuits?
Biscuits are great. I'm a German lady. You ain't never not eating bread.
That's true.
So
I didn't know when you get introduced to biscuits though.
But something that was really funny, like my idea of bread pudding,
I've been told it's like the center of a cinnamon roll.
Bread pudding?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, so I've seen different ways of making it. We made it with my dad would literally just put whatever odd end. I mean, he'd use hot dog bread, but yeah, buns. He'd use hot dogs.
Those are,
Any odd end pieces of bread, and then it's just sugar and milk, and you mix it in, and it just kind of like the bread will absorb the milk. But then some people do like a Jell-O mixture, like a pudding mixture with like making bread, and then it's more of like a piece of kind of like cornbread.
Really?
It's like a thing. Like you can physically pick it up, and it's not soupy. Like I would always eat corn, or like bread pudding, and it would be soupy. It'd be more like a just warm milk mixture with bread bits in it.
It sounds good though.
It's fucking delicious.
What about cornbread? When were you introduced to cornbread?
Probably like late middle school.
Because that was like a staple of my life. I can't remember not having cornbread.
My mom never made cornbread.
Really? That's a shame.
I had it at church or something. And it was like, let's see, what year was that? Middle school, whenever like the church I went to opened up a new building, and they had space for a kitchen. So
I think like they celebrated with cornbread. So we had a new building. It was cornbread time.
I mean, yeah, like Wednesday night was followed by like supper in the church.
Yeah. Did you guys have a potluck?
You know, they did different things.
I used to love potlucks, man. You're like, it's gonna be on. You know, people
get that chili, get that cornbread,
you know,
sweet tea.
Yeah, you know, people are bringing like marshmallow desserts. Like I don't know what they are. I can't remember. There's just marshmallows.
Some of them are like pink.
Yeah. And they're just great. You're like, there's marshmallows. I'm gonna eat that.
Oh, mine was always the Oreo stuff. That was my favorite.
What's the Oreo stuff?
Just Oreos mushed up with like cream cheese.
Yeah, like we can't make anything. Just crumple some Oreo bits on it. It's fine.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of like American treats that I was really super excited about. Like I said, when I was a kid, we got more packages from Germany because the shipping wasn't as expensive. So I had German chocolate.
For real German chocolate. Is German chocolate cake a real thing in Germany? You know how we have German chocolate cake? It's just like...
Yeah, but no, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's not like a huge thing. Like their big cakes are like Quetschekuchen.
Ooh.
Just like plum cake.
Plum? Mm-hmm. Ooh, that sounds fancy.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Coffee, I feel like more of like a coffee cake.
Yeah.
And like biscuits, like you'll take your bread and just dip it in coffee.
Huh.
But yeah, like chocolates, and like in the UK, people will eat like a piece of cake in like how we might grab like a cookie.
Huh.
They have fucking cakes, which is bizarre to me.
They're living life a little bit better. Their societies have been around longer.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's not even like the little like, oh, let me have the little bite-sized cake little things like you would see at the deli. Like it's a fucking circle, like you would get a small birthday cake.
Yeah, they're like, that's cute, America. We did that 200 years ago.
Let me get my actual piece of cake.
We're gonna get a cake.
And they call cookies biscuits, which I think is cute.
That is fun, man, because it makes it sound like you're not eating.
Like, it's like I just had a few little biscuits.
It's just some tea and biscuits.
Yeah, it's fine, which is delicious. I highly recommend if you haven't joined that life. Get you a robe, drink champagne while you get in a bath, and then have biscuits with your tea.
I have not done any of those things. What? No. I have a robe because you gave me one.
I did. How often do you wear it?
Not that often.
Get on it.
Yeah, I do wear it though. It's on the back of the bathroom door.
Yep.
Yeah, so I do wear it.
It's good.
But it's like a whole lifestyle change, man. The robe life.
It's good.
It's a good lifestyle change, but it's like a whole different way of thinking.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like it has rippling effect. Like once you start the robe life, your whole life is different. Like how your leisure is just a whole different level.
Yeah. Sam came home the other day. He was like, "Girl, you so silly."
It's like, which robe?
Because I had just gotten a massage. And so I'm trying to be good about not listening to my own advice.
Yeah.
So it's like, after you get a massage, get you a hot bath, get you some water, get you some nutrients. So you best believe I was drawing my bath. I had already set up a table. I had alcohol. I had fresh berries.
Is that nutrients though?
I mean, no, but I was relaxing.
That's okay. I was just saying, I'm just like.
But I had fresh berries. I had like fancy grapes and raspberries, and
your leisure time is just so different than mine, man.
I had alcohol and I had me some herb and I was getting my bath and I had my Epsom salt, and Sam came home and he saw like my whole setup. I had my candles, I brought my crystals, and I was about to get in, but he was like, his hands were full, so he was like, open up the door. So I'm at the door with my robe and I'm just like, all right, come on in, I'm about to hop in the bath.
So that's how that scenario is how you're leisuring.
Yeah.
I'm over here.
I had set up like my show that I watch my stuff in German.
I'm just trying to that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm over here reading stupid ass philosophy books.
That's good too. Just do it in your robe.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
You
like,
can put snacks in your pockets.
I was just
too.
saying how we leisure. I was like, man, I'm just not doing it right, man. I was just like, man, what's wrong with me?
Relaxation. So if I do anything like that where I'm taking, really taking self-time, I will try to throw a little bit of learning.
No, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm saying you're leisuring way better than me. Actually, I am saying one's better than the other. Yours is better.
Yeah, so I've been really on watching my German. And if Sam falls asleep, I immediately change to whatever we're watching. And I'll put on my shows that I've been watching in German.
I've been meditating a lot. Like for a long time.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten through the anger phase. I don't know did I tell you that? Like I was meditating. It was like,
yeah. You had mentioned that the last time it had just brought up, and you're like, "Why am I pissed right now?"
Yeah, so I started meditating, kind of like I guess like regular people do for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes,
and then you went to like an hour. Were you doing it with that drip method that they were talking about from that?
Yeah, that's how I get into it. So I was doing like I guess like the quick way, like a few minutes a day, which is beneficial if you start your day that way. It's all I'm not like poo pooing on it or anything, but I was doing that, and then I started getting really. Like instead of being in a peaceful clarity and yada, I would get very angry and upset at things that were going through my mind. And so I stopped doing it, which everyone was like, no, you got to clear. That's like a layer, like whatever. You got to get through that layer. Of,
clear that muck.
Yeah, for sure. But I didn't do it. So I just stopped. And then now I've been doing like these like super long ones. And like, so that stuff went away pretty quick because that's a long time to think of nothing. Yeah. Or whatever. So now I'm really trying to have hallucinations via meditation. Yeah. Like that's my end goal. Like, because if people say they can do it, I'm like, man.
It's like, I want to do it.
Yeah. But then I
will say it is helpful to know what you're trying to experience.
Yeah. I just want something really weird
to happen.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I want something magical to happen. Not magical in a fairy tale. Magical is like, man, that's not from Earth. Yeah. That's what I want to happen. I've never met anyone that's had that happen, but like people on the world,
on the planet, have had that experience.
Yeah, they say it's very common, but I'm like, okay, and it takes a long time. Substances like DMT and psilocybin or a shortcut, so you don't have to do that work. So I'm trying to do.
But it is helpful.
Yeah. So I'm trying to do the work and do it, but it doesn't happen. Yeah. I don't know, man. Just usually just end up, I don't know, figuring out all the world's problems. I do a lot. Well, it seems to be a lot of I don't do because you're not supposed to do anything, right? Yeah.
Well, that's the hard part is because it's like you're supposed to focus on doing something. I mentioned this earlier, and it was just like, but you're also supposed to let go of it at the same time. Yeah. It's like a constant like wanting it, but also letting it go. So trying to achieve that, but also not holding on to that thought because you can't have it if you're thinking about it. Yeah. Kind of thing.
I was like, I was taught. Was I taught? I guess so. I learned it, so I was taught. Yeah. Right? Whether I actively did it or not. Yeah. That your thoughts, like most of our thoughts, our stream of consciousness, are hooked like a chain. So they're dragging our past with it, and then they're resisting our future. So like our present thoughts are mucky because like they're bringing past emotions, and
it's like dragging your blanket across the ground, and you got all the dirt, and you're like,
all your thoughts are like they're connected, right? So at first when I heard that, I was like, of course they're connected, but like when they're dragging, so they're not connected, free flowing, they're dragging your past, and then they're resisting your future thoughts because that's anxiety, like the anxiety of the future. So the key is to think about what you're thinking about in the present, whatever it happens to be, without having connected to the past or the future. So instead of it being a chain that's interlinked, it's just a link. Every thought and every moment is just a link.
Single link. Yeah.
And I was like, what? Whoa. Yeah. So when I heard that, I have to really, it sounds cool when you say it out loud, but like, I had to really think about what that meant. And then I would try to do it. And like, that's what I'm working on now. This was really hard. So everything in my brain, like I see in word pictures, and I don't think in, I don't know how to put it. I see things, and I see like motion comic books in my head. Yeah. Like word pictures or whatever. So now when I'm in there, like I probably got like 10 minutes of that going on in the hour or two I was doing or whatever. And it was just like everything was just like, yeah. And it was really cool because then I just felt like everything connected, like all the things I was thinking about I put them together in a good way on accident because they weren't dragging. They weren't actually connected. It's hard to explain. It didn't make any sense when I said it. Yeah. So my thoughts were single links for, I would say 10 minutes or whatever of a long time. But in that 10-minute span, I felt like I connected everything at the end of it. Yeah. It was really weird.
Yeah. Meditation is a really interesting introspective space. And then just like anything else, dreams, revisiting, if you have had psychedelic experiences, you're just like, these words, and then just come out like blurp, blurp, jib it up.
Hip blurk.
Hip blurk. It's like, you got it though, right? And then if you've experienced something, you're like, yeah, I fucking know what you mean. Like, I got it. I know what you mean. It is really cool whenever me and Sam get to some of these spaces, sometimes like nonverbal communications. Those are really cool.
That is cool.
Or sometimes it's been really crazy where it's like, we've both experienced it on like both ends of it, and like answering questions where the other person didn't actually say something aloud. And it's like, did I say that? And it's like, didn't you?
Oh, man, there's what was it? Oh shit. Something in ayahuasca or in I think it was ayahuasca or maybe DMT, like a long time ago, like a long, like some molecule or whatever.
Oh, like in the like actual chain of
whatever
evolution of how it was
something made. Like that. I don't really know what I'm about to talk about, so don't listen to this part. But before, someone thought they discovered it, but someone discovered it maybe like 2 months earlier. But this is a long time ago, so like in the 1800s or some shit. So like it was hard to like know what someone discovered.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know what you were doing, so we came up with that at the same time.
They called it. They didn't call it what'd you say, telepathy. Oh, man, what'd you just say? Telepathic.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what the name, what they called the molecule. It was something in DMT, but it had the root word was telepathic because like they found
because they would have that experience.
Yeah, they would have. They found
understand.
that people would have that experience. They've also found that people that have ayahuasca trips have group hallucinations.
Yeah.
Which they don't understand how it's happening unless they're like a skeptic would say that the people that are in the grip of ayahuasca or whatever are talking to each other and then lead each other in that, but like I don't know if that's true or not. But
and that could be someone's experience. Like someone could have that. Like,
but they say it's not. They say it's all separate, different like quadrants of a
Rick
space.
Strassman's work on it. Like he had very different people in isolated, like blind studies kind of thing. So these people didn't talk to each other, and he got really similar results. But it also,
so crazy,
whenever you do like ceremonies and things, like the people who are around you can affect.
That's the whole point though,
how
right?
you're thinking.
That's the point of the ceremony, right? Instead of just like, take this and go lay in your bed.
Yeah. Well, I would say the point of the ceremony is to have the guide.
Yeah.
But,
that can affect, I guess, the experience.
But, sometimes these guided things have other people in the group, like you do it as a group. And it's like, you may not know the other people in the group, but you could have just like, any experiment, like it's affected by the observer.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy how people
Chelsea Handler did she did an experience. She does it's like Chelsea Handler does drugs, and she does all these different.
Isn't she a comedian? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Started there. She does a bunch of other things. I think she's written books, and she has got the talk show.
The blonde lady. Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But she did it, and she didn't quite have the same like aha experiences. Like she felt some things.
What did she do? Ayahuasca?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She went to a retreat, and she had like
that one seems tough, man. You get a purge. It's like 4 hours. You can interact with
a lot of things.
The things, yeah. Like DMT is apparently just a rocket ship in and out, like 15, 20 minutes. Oh yeah. Right? You don't interact.
Yeah, that's like shoving your head through the curtain and be like, all right, go figure it out. Bye.
Yeah, and ayahuasca is drawn out.
Yeah, it's a lot longer. It's like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, and you get purge.
Yeah.
That's the part where it's just like, oh man.
It's like, I don't want to do that.
You got to be like really ready, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to it's coming up.
So like her experience of it was like,
Really? I've never heard anyone say that about any of those things. Like, man.
She just didn't have, you have some of these experiences and you feel kind of, watch it. You can see it. You don't need me to tell you what it was, but like, it was interesting, like her perspective of it. And she was just like, but what it boils down to is that's probably just not what she needed.
It's true.
In that moment.
Yeah, it could be.
So, there's some things you can do really great stuff. And if it's not what you need at that time, like you're not going to get as much out of it.
Yeah. The old proverb, like, don't give pearls to the swine.
Yeah.
Not that she's a pig, but that's like, sorry, but like, that's an old, I think it's in Proverbs. Like it's old, like 2,000, 3,000 year old saying, like, she wasn't ready. You give her gold. She doesn't.
Yeah. She's not ready. She wasn't ready for it or like didn't need that kind of change.
Yeah.
And then you have some people who like constantly go do it. But they probably are still stuck in some of their
after watching
ways.
it. Like I don't know if I could constantly do that ceremony. It looks, it's violently uncomfortable.
Maybe it's not like that every time.
Yeah. Well, when they've purged and like that beginning part, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying I don't know if I want to do that
again
particular.
And again.
I don't like throwing up regular now. Like, I'm about to throw up. I'm like, you know how it is when you're going to throw. You wake up, you got, It's like
your whole mouth waters, and you're just like, oh,
it's like 2 minutes before you puke. It's like an eternity. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get up. No, I can keep it down.
I can keep it down. And then
you
you're
know
like,
what I mean? I can't. I mean,
you're like, I can't. And then you're like,
yeah, I just can't imagine like drinking that tar and being like, I'm gonna do this again. No, I mean, I can't say that I'm gonna do it again. Like looking forward to doing that part again.
Yeah,
because that's pretty tough.
I mean, maybe with what you get out of it, you're like,
no, I get it. I'm not bragging it, but I'm saying that part of it is hard.
Yeah,
like that part is hard to be like, man, I'm just gonna
do that again.
It's like
voluntarily.
It's like going to go do something awesome, but before you get the awesome part,
that's kind of how tattoos are.
Yeah, I was just about to say something like you're gonna go do something awesome, but before you get there, I'm gonna punch you in the face a little bit.
Yeah,
and you're like, well, I mean, I wanted that, but
it's like, all right.
But do I want to get punched in the face again?
It's like, let me take my glasses off first.
I'm like, all right, let's do this.
But yeah, that's how tattoos are. Like I have like a very set ritual of what I do before when I go get tattoos, especially.
What's your tat rich?
I definitely always have a flannel.
Like shirt? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I need it.
Okay. Well,
I kind of get cold because, you know, it's like your body's going into a little bit of shock. So I never put it fully on. I put one arm in and then the other part I use as like a pillow.
Okay.
But like the comfort of like having an extra piece of fabric is really helpful. It makes me feel less vulnerable, I guess.
What about a hoodie? No hoodie.
Too restricting here.
Okay.
I want to be able to move and be free. Because you with what I've had to do, I've had to be in either a certain position or I've had to move back and forth between different positions.
Which one's your biggest one? You got a couple of big pieces that I know of.
Longest is what's on my back.
Okay.
Thickest, I think, would be my newest one on my thigh.
Gotcha.
But they're all pretty large pieces.
Which one took the longest? Is it one on your back got like a lot of coloring, like solid color?
Yeah, well, that's been tattooed 3 different times. You know, I had the original tattoo and then I had it updated and reworked, and that was 3 different sessions. So I would say that one has like the most hours on it.
Gotcha.
My leg, we got, I think 11 hours.
That's crazy.
Or 7. I can't remember if we did. No, I think we definitely did, because I think we did 7 hours at one time. And then did 4 more hours the next time.
That's crazy.
It was
what's like you did 7 hours? What's hour like 6.5 like? I don't have any tattoos. Is you're like, okay.
I mean, some people are like, oh, it goes
done.
numb and you don't feel it. That's not true. It's very sensitive.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, have you ever had someone like hold your hand and kind of just twiddle on your skin and it gets really raw and sensitive and kind of irritated?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but instead of a finger, it's a needle and it's hot and your skin's raw.
That doesn't see me. That sounds like that's like getting something awesome, but I'm gonna punch you in the face a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a little.
Just a little.
It's annoying.
I mean, it's not like I'm not gonna lean back and like hit you with everything in my face. It's just like, bap, bap, bap. And you're like, oh man, I'm bleeding a little bit.
Like, that kind of fucking sucked.
But then you're like, no, I got a sweet tattoo.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But the funny thing about tattoos, as soon as the needle's off of you, it doesn't hurt anymore.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense. The needle seems to be the pain driver.
Yeah. It's just touching right there, just enough to be like, hello, nerves.
You know what tattoos I like? I mean, I like all tattoos. I like tattoos that have a lot of, I don't know, what's the right word? It's not negative space or open space, where it's like not a lot of like, I don't know.
But it doesn't look like a sticker on you.
Well, that's true. No. But like it could be big, but it's like, instead of it being like all ink, there's a lot of open, like, I don't know if that makes like skin there, but like it's, I don't know, there's negative space.
Negative space.
Yeah, I like that. That looks cool to me. I don't know why it looks cool. Like line work.
Yeah.
Like line work tattoos look really cool where it's just like, I don't know why.
Yeah, I would say that would be what negative space is.
Yeah,
like,
whenever I see those are my favorites. So I'm like, wow, look at that. Because I don't know, it's kind of cool because it's like you can still see the
full image, but then it's like it wasn't overdone.
Yeah, I don't know. I like minimal things anyway.
Yeah, it's like the minimal amount of effort to still make a really dope.
Yeah,
image.
it's not because I don't want to get I don't have any, but like tattooed longer. I just think like I like minimal things in general. But so I think it looks kind of cool when you can see the skin. You could use the skin as the second color, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's kind of what that's how a lot of people will, because most people don't just do white as ink on the tattoos.
Yeah.
Like the magnolias I have on my thigh, a lot of it is like grays and light pale blues mixed in with my skin color to make a more of a white tone.
I also like dot work tattoos.
Dot work's cool. Some of those, it is really, because I was talking about this last time I was getting tattooed. Some of those really cool, intricate, especially the tiny ones, those will disappear immediately.
Really?
The complete whole thing. Like there's this whole style of tattoos that's like kind of meant just for like, here's the artwork, here's what I can do, but that actual isn't, the tattoo wasn't meant to be there.
Was it just like a black blurb after a while, like a smear?
No, sometimes it'll just completely go away because it's so lightly put into the skin. Like the whole science behind the way why tattoos work and why they stay even after like so long being in the skin is like the depth and the angle that it's put at. So it's put so superficially that like when the skin sloughs off as it naturally does, it just goes away.
Huh, that's crazy.
But it's meant for like these tattoo shows just to be like, oh, that's what I can do. Or like these conventions and stuff. And be like, look what I can do.
That is cool.
And they're just gone.
So when I was in doctor school, I had in one of our like anatomy class, I had to like dissect a human cadaver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was the coolest and weirdest, grossest thing I've ever done in my life. I have a lot of gross stories about it. But one of the cool things, my cadaver, it was a guy, it looked like he was in the Navy based off his tattoos.
Yeah.
So we had Navy tattoos, and it was crazy. So it was on his arm. I can't remember.
Usually it's like that upper arm.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but like it was crazy because I was like, hold on. When we got to that part, I was like, I want to do that. So like I dissected the skin and peeled it back, and you can see how deep the
ink goes.
The indigo went. Like it was like it was great.
A lot of black tattoos will turn blue after a while.
Yeah, so it looked regular like on here, but when we flipped it up, it was more of a brighter blue under the skin, which was crazy because it looked like a regular like dark blue, you know what I mean, almost black tattoo. But when we flipped it up, it was bright, vibrant underneath.
I've seen that with a picture where it was, I guess, a gentleman had gotten like a burn.
It was brighter than that.
Yeah.
Under the skin.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
like
on
he
top,
had like a tattoo that had just been like sun damaged, and the blister that opened, you could see the fresh ink underneath and how bright it was. So it's probably the same idea.
Yeah, it was crazy. I thought that was one of the cooler parts. Is like I was like, oh, I got to see what happens when you get a tattoo, like underneath, like I peeled it up.
It's like, let me just cut that shit.
Yeah, it was crazy. The weirdest part was his face because the whole time we just ripped this human being open.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say it that way. Like he donated his body to science. Like I learned, my group learned from it, but I mean
still physically
ripped him apart, like to not maliciously, but to learn from it. But like the whole time we had a towel on his face. It was just something about those eyes, man, like staring at you.
I don't like this.
It was crazy. And then I remember like when it got to the face, I had to do the face.
Yeah, you're like, you gotta take that sucker off, man.
Yeah, I dreamed about that face for years. I could still see that dude's face.
I believe it.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. Like I had to just peel, like it's.
See, I haven't seen anything like that because I didn't get to do any cadaver classes, but I do follow a lot of like plastic surgeons
But seeing it in person is different, man. Touching it, like smelling it, touching it, like.
Well, and this is live flesh too versus like a cadaver.
Yeah, well, there's difference in that too.
That definitely, it moves differently, and.
Yeah, I've never seen live
flesh. But I've seen like, it's like this. It's called like a bullhorn lip lift. The way that they shape it, it's right underneath the nose, and it's meant to do this. I mean, it's kind of silly, but it like, I guess it replaces fillers in the lip because it adds volume. But it kind of gives you this like mouth breather look because the teeth are constantly exposed.
Man, yeah, right. It's crazy. Like when I meet people and you can see they have so much Botox in their face, in their mouth, whatever's in their mouth, like their lips, and they're like.
Some people like you can tell because they kind of have a lisp because like the corners of their mouth are kind of turned up.
I get what they're going for.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
If you can see that it looks fake, then you don't have it. Like you missed the mark. You know what I mean? You probably were better off without.
Before.
Yeah, because
now like I'm sure your thin lips were fine.
Yeah, because you went to the point where now you look like you look weird. Look at it.
Yeah.
And
it looks off. It's like a deep fake where you're like, that's different.
Yeah, it's like Luke Skywalker at the end of The Mandalorian. It was cool, but I was like, I know that looks kind of weird. It's not real. But like their faces are so smooth. I'm like, I don't care if you're in your 20s. You should have some.
Just something.
Something, man. You
got pores.
Yeah, you're not made out of plastic. You know what I mean? You look weird, like an alien. That's what they say about like the grays, like the gray aliens.
Super
like,
smooth.
Smooth, yeah. It's so weird. I was hanging out with someone the other day, and she
aliens. Where you at? We want to talk to you.
It's so bad. Like I was hanging out with someone the other day, and she was so smooth. I couldn't help it. I was just like, how much Botox have you had in your face?
I was like, that's a lot.
And she was like, some. I was like, yeah, you have.
Like, yeah, you have. I see it.
I couldn't help it, man. I felt like a dick afterwards, but I was just like, I always. Me, because I'm also like biased, but that's why I'm biased. I always that's the right word. Sorry. My opinion is, people look better, more close to, I think everyone looks better natural than changed. Yeah. Like there's people who disagree with me, and that's fair. But like for me, when I see someone, I'm like, you were made the way that you are. That's the way that you were made and the way that you've grown into a person that collection of traits is what makes you awesome and beautiful and special. Like when you start tinkering with it, and I'm like, man,
it's like your face. Like, why didn't you like it? It's a good fucking face.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't.
Like, even if, I mean, that whole problem is obviously like social standards. That's
true.
the problem.
And I'm also cool with like people being able to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah.
Go look like an alien.
Like, cool.
Make your lips look stupid.
Yeah, it's fine.
Do it. But I if you ask me how's it look, it looks dumb.
Yeah, I'd be like, I personally, in my opinion, in my little world, I don't like it.
Yeah, I support you look like an alien. Yeah. Like if you want to go look like an alien, go do it. But like I think you look
I would
stupid.
definitely go more the route of like changing my ears. And
yeah, see, like
that I would definitely do.
Yeah, see, all of you used to ask about that, and I was like, I mean, I get it. I mean, there's a part of me that could be stupid and be like, yeah, you look like a fairy. It's really
but
cool.
some body modifiers, like fuck, they got some tolerance.
Yeah.
Because like I would definitely go plastic surgery route.
Yeah.
Like put me to sleep. I would like my antibiotics. And some people just go into an office and a professional is just like, no, some techniques are like a pizza cut and they re-put it. But they just sit there and let a scalpel go to their ear just right there, just while you're chilling.
Yeah.
Or like scarification.
Yeah.
They just taking it. I'm like, I'm going to take this little piece off. And they're professionals and they got their life. You know, they do what they're doing, but they're just sitting there. Your client, as the person getting it done, you just.
So if you were to ask me, I know you wouldn't, but if you were to ask my opinion, but hey, I'm thinking about making my ears look like I'm a elf.
Yeah, you'd be like, don't do it.
I'd be like, hey man, don't do that.
Yeah.
Your ears are great.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I wonder how it will change your hearing in general. Well, like if it would be noticeable enough to where you'd be like, oh, that's different. Just because like how the sound catches through the.
I guess it would change it. I don't know.
I'd just be curious of what that little change was.
I'm not in that world, man.
Yeah.
Because like
you remember when you were 5 and you were like.
Yeah. I still do that. Yeah. So does he.
Yeah. In the loud cafeteria and just like, wow.
So I'm not in that world because like I always the other way. I'm like, nah, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But again, I support all of you that have fairy ears to have that look.
I saw some whenever we were in Asheville. I was like, man, I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I get it, man.
I wish my ears were bigger because I don't want my ear to be smaller. I already got, I mean, they're regular size ears, but.
Are yours attached or are they dangly? Your earlobes?
They're dangly.
Weirdo.
Yours attached?
Straight to my ear, man. Oh, that fluff.
No, I have all the. I have a full curve.
I'm more aerodynamic, man. It's just straight in there, man. I'm not messing with all that jiggle.
Don't need all that.
All the ear jiggling.
But I can't wear earrings, and that's stupid.
Why? That's what you're supposed to have. Is the flappy one.
They hurt my ears.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought you meant because of like the thing.
No, just my ears don't tolerate.
Man, I was like well deep into my adulthood before I realized that people had different earlobes.
Oh.
I like well deep.
Like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I might have been like 29 or something. You know what I mean? I realized I was like
what?
This whole time, man. I
think I've known more about like different people's like noses are a big. I don't know if I like noses or just like it's a cool feature on people's faces. Like social standards, I find men with like larger noses more attractive than these tiny petite noses.
Well, they can smell fire.
Like what's that? Right? What's that one guy? Adrian. He's the guy in The Pianist. He does a few other things.
I've never seen The Pianist.
But you know the guy I'm talking about? Is his name Adrian something?
Adrian Brody?
Is that him?
Oh, I don't know.
Tall guy?
Oh, I have no idea.
He's kind of alien-ish.
I don't know, man.
Let's Google it.
Bring it out.
Google it.
Bring out the Google box.
Let's Google internet it.
Yeah, I've never seen The Pianist. I have a very strict set criteria for movies, and it doesn't reach that criteria.
I mean, I actually don't even think I've seen it. I just know 100% he's in that movie.
No, it's okay. I'm sure. I think it won like an Academy Award or something.
Oh, it is Brody.
Yeah. That's the only famous Adrian actor I know. That's why I said that.
Yeah. He's just a handsome man to me.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
So we need to put it on the screen, but I'm not going to do it later when I edit this.
Yeah.
Because I don't actually edit it.
Like he's just got a large schnoz.
There he is.
I ain't mad at it. Not at all.
Smell fire, man.
Not at all.
Back in the day, you'd be like, that guy will save me.
That guy will save my life.
If our hut is on fire.
Yeah. Or the guy who plays Kylo Ren.
His ears are ridiculous.
Fucking cute, man.
So look.
I ain't mad at it.
I'm not mad. I mean, like I said, when I watched that movie, I still have no idea the actor what his name is, right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I love Star Wars. I'm watching Star Wars. And Kylo Ren is BA, man. In the beginning, he stops a laser beam with his force power. I've never seen that done. I was like, this dude.
Yeah, and that kind of just falls into like my natural attraction to like angsty men.
Yeah, right. He definitely looks angsty.
Yeah.
Like he would like.
I was like, you in all black and you got some problems? Oh shit.
Your daddy don't love you.
Your
right?
daddy don't love you. You got some issues. You sad boy, so you take it out in anger.
It kind of goes to what we were talking about before we started. Like he would listen to like emo music.
He did.
He was like,
he made it.
He did.
Other emo guys were like, I need to sing about him because he's got some problems.
I did the cover artwork for the CD.
I'm in the band. That's how I used to get in all the shows. It's like I work the merch table, carry in some shit.
There you go. That's how you do it. But when I was watching that show, that guy, whatever his name is,
yeah,
I had no idea what he looked like. And he was just like when he had the mask on, he sounded awesome. He was force powers. But then he took his. I'm not gonna lie. He took his helmet off. Silly. And then when his ears popped out, the movie theater people, it was an audible laugh.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't
I didn't see it in theaters.
Yeah, it wasn't even just me. And I was just like, I was like, whoa, that was unexpected. Like, and I felt real shallow when I said that. But like, then people started giggling around me, and I was like, well, I'm not that shallow.
Yeah, I was like, I guess we all kind of.
Yeah, you know what I mean, judgy or whatever. But yeah, he's got some big ears, man.
The best like movie experience, like seeing other people get excited.
But sorry about that. I was just sorry. I'm got me thinking about ears. I think big ear. I shouldn't say. Well, yeah, big, large. Bigger than normal on women is very attractive.
Yeah, it's like I see that.
I don't know why though. I was just like, why is that a weird thing?
You can listen, Will, like that.
No, I don't. No,
just features.
Nobody listens to me anyway. I say too many random things.
I mean,
it's two different vibrations. Like it's like too much.
Too much.
Yeah. People like just drink Bud Light and watch football. She told me that, man. I got told that. I was like, oh, I gotta go read a book. I gotta go read. I gotta go read a book. And then I'm gonna watch The Office after I read that, and then I'm gonna watch football after that,
and then do something else and listen to reggae, then some rap, and maybe read another book and have a donut and go to bed.
Ooh, have a donut and go to bed.
I was thinking about donuts earlier today.
I always think about donuts earlier today. But I haven't got it. I shouldn't say he probably heard it. He's like, let's get a donut.
Like, Dad, you got some donuts.
Let's go get them.
Little kids, and they're just like, Dad.
Yeah,
why is it so breathy?
It's excitement.
Dad.
They know you don't like them yelling. They know you don't like being yelled at.
Yeah.
Like when your kid yells at you in excitement, whether it's pure joy or anger, I don't like it.
It's like, don't do that, dude.
Yeah, man. It hurts my ears, man. Like,
it's like you loud. You got some other vocal cords that haven't like pitched in yet, and it's fucking loud.
They learn that. So there's like, Dad, when they're excited, they just take it down where like they're still, you can feel the excitement, but it doesn't hurt my ears. I'm like, yeah, what's up, man?
Like, what's up, dude? He's
like, hot sign's on. I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm like, the blinkers are already on, son. The blinkers are already on, son.
Yeah, I've heard about how you whip it.
You got to whip it, man. I'll hurt my neck. Getting in there, man.
Like, I need this donut.
The one time
I'm doing good. I got things to do in the springtime, so I can't slack off now because for what I want in the spring.
What do you want? Are we going to be like at a cover shoot or something?
I mean, maybe.
We change the podcast artwork. You're just gonna
we are kind of doing some shit for my birthday that are picture related. So.
What are you doing?
Like a boudoir party.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, you told me about that. That's cool. So you're gonna have people come over.
Yeah, but it's just gonna be us. I'm not like hiring.
Who's us?
Friends.
Okay, well you said us. That's why you have people come over.
Yeah, some girlfriends that are just like, they're like, hell yeah, I got lingerie. I want to fucking wear it.
Nice.
That's my life. If it's not robe, it's like absurdly overly dressed lingerie. So I'm into it.
For the listeners that are out there, they're like, wait a minute, there's going to be a bunch of people coming over in lingerie.
Oh, no, not here. That's for my birthday.
No, that's what I'm saying. But at your house, no, I'm saying that this is an interesting story.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want to do for my birthday. End it. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'm having like a boudoir birthday party.
No, okay, that's fair. But like, so what happens when your friends come over?
For boudoir photos?
Yeah.
Fucking just looking sexy as shit and be like, here's your Polaroid, man.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. So yeah, it would be like Polaroid style.
So I imagine there's going to be some funtivities involved, some substances, some alcohol, some things.
We'll probably do some drinks. I told people, like, Polaroids are really fun because you don't need this whole backdrop because they're so small.
It's true. So you can't like do the blur, like the the lens stuff.
Yeah. So it's like, you can't like have like the foreground, where you're blurry and the foreground is whatever. So it's just gonna be like, it may be small props or just like getting bits and pieces
Gotcha.
of body bits.
So how many robes are involved, or is it just like everyone's in lingerie chilling?
Yeah, I mean, it is still gonna be cold. So whatever people have, like,
I'm just trying to set the scene for the viewers. So
yeah,
like,
so
what is
like,
this like
my vibe is I really like corsets. I like more of like a goth style of attire.
Vampire teeth.
Yeah.
Vampire teeth. Yeah.
Got some. Yeah, I have like some badass boots and things and some corsets and stuff.
All right.
But I guess it's whatever other people have. Like I know some of my friends are a little bit more into like the softer, delicate look. So they might have like softer lingerie, the whole like garter vibe, whatever.
So you guys,
and then definitely, I will definitely bring my robe so people can have some.
See, I didn't mean what they're going to wear, but like, so what happens at this party?
I think it's just going to be a party. There's not really an agenda.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? I know that's true, but I'm sorry. I didn't mean like, what are they going to wear? I meant like, so you guys are all in lingerie. It's fine. It's cool.
Yeah. And then just party in our lingerie that we never get to wear because people don't really wear it.
Yeah. So that's the interesting part. Party.
Just to be in it.
So yeah, that's what I meant. That is the interesting part as more than the sexual, what are you wearing part.
Oh yeah.
Like, like, so people in lingerie.
Yeah. Just partying in their lingerie.
How dope is that? That's what I meant.
People don't really, it's like you wear it, and then if you use it in your sexy time, it's like you're taking it off.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking uncomfortable for the most part. But if you can find pieces you like that are comfortable, but you never really get to wear it because it's like you're either going to wear it in your house and you're going to wear it all day for the fun of it, just to have it because it's a look, or you don't wear it and it's just something you bought and it's sitting there.
I would imagine it's fairly expensive.
It can be.
You know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
It's not like a
for
t-shirt.
like, I was like, wow, that was $30 for that.
A spiky thing.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
So yeah.
So y'all should be chilling, drinking mimosas in lingerie.
Yeah. I would like some ping pong. I got a few friends. I'm like, teach me how to fucking play chess.
Man, that's the coolest part ever.
I'm gonna have some activities, some party games.
Man, I'm just saying, like, if you just play this out in your head, like just people in lingerie or whatever, sitting around,
just doing some stuff,
drinking mimosas, playing chess.
Yeah.
That's
how I want to live my life.
That's why you're an interesting human being. Because I've never heard. I made up mimosas because I see women in lingerie drinking mimosas.
Yeah,
that maybe that's
like, yeah, that's fun.
Maybe that's just me. But okay, alcohol, lingerie. But I would have never have like bookend that with chess.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I want to learn. I got a chessboard.
No.
I watched Queen's Gambit and I was like, I want to fucking know how to do that.
Did you hear the story about? It was a meme, a very popular meme about Queen's Game. That guy, like the guy that been trying to make that movie for 30 years.
Dang.
And then every network for 30, I don't want to. Don't judge me if it's 25, whatever. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Whatever.
I think it was.
He wanted to make it. People told him no.
Everyone was like, nobody wants to watch this movie about this chick playing chess. Is it a girl or a boy?
Mm-hmm. It's a lady.
It's a lady. Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember, but like, I don't think that was. Well, back then it probably was an issue because everyone was sexist and stuff.
Yeah, and they're like, we ain't have no bitch.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But like
male dominated something.
But but now it's probably. Who wants to watch somebody play chess? Mm-hmm. And then I think it got like, I can't remember how many bajillion views on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, especially like if someone was like, hey, this chick's going to see her games play out on the ceiling and like that's her man space. And one, like fucking giving little kids drugs because that's how the system worked.
Well, I haven't seen it.
Bro.
Again, it doesn't meet my criteria for a movie show.
It would.
I mean, that doesn't mean it's bad.
No, I'm saying like you would see a lot more things. It goes through much more than just like, oh, this chick at a young age starts playing chess.
Yeah, I'd imagine there's some hardship and coming of age and struggle and oppression.
And it's just interesting how they do it, and like the people that are involved in her life. Like there's some hard asses, there's some comedic relief, there's just like the topics of the time.
Yeah,
it's good. It's a really well written story.
So everyone says it's got like 500 million watches or something on YouTube.
It's super good.
I gotta watch it. But yeah, I thought that was just like, man, people are dumb. Not people that said, oh, no one wants to watch it.
Who said no?
Everyone
but then someone went in and was like giving the download of like Back to the Future and like, we're surely fucking making that 3 times.
Yeah.
John Mulaney does like the best. And he's like, so we're going to make a time machine and we're going to go to the past. But it's called Back to the Future. Yeah.
Well, I get that, but because they're trying, when they go back in the past, the whole thing is to how they get back to the future because the time machine broke.
Yeah. And that's the point, to get back to the
I'm just saying, I happen to be a Back to the Future connoisseur.
I know, and that's why I'm picking at you because I haven't seen it. And I only have John Mulaney's. I've only had John Mulaney's description of it. And I'm just like, I can't fucking, because I won't think of anything else but that. Like, it's ruined for me. I won't take it in its essence because now I only think of Biff trying to rape his mom.
Well, that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Pretty fair.
So he's like just there in the yard doing
check it out.
The yard work.
Check it out. At your lingerie party.
Watch Back to the Future.
It'll change your life.
Is it on Netflix? Because then I don't have it.
I don't know.
Because I do have a projector.
I've been watching it on streaming for a while. Look, if it's not, I'll buy it for you.
Be like, you have to fucking watch it.
Yeah. Just watch it. There's 3 of them, right? The first 2 is really 2. The first 2 movies are one awesome movie.
Yeah.
The third one's okay. Like, it's good. Like, it's...
Which one has the cool shoes?
Second one. That's when they go to the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one, they go back into the past. They get stuck back there.
Yeah.
Trying to get back to the future. The second one, they go to the future and they get stuck there.
Do they go, is it the whole thing? They're trying to go to their time, but they go too far and they're in the future now?
No.
That's all assumption.
No. Yeah. So they go back to the first movie, they go back into the past because it's a time machine, but they get stuck there and then they're kind of chilling. But then whatever they do alters the future. So the whole movie, they're trying
I always love how whenever they're trying to make all this big thing, there's always paper flying around.
Yeah.
It's like, where the fuck that paper come from?
I don't know, but you need it. You need it.
That's how you know that there's like wind.
Yeah, it's good. It's super
paper
good.
flowing around.
Yeah, you got to watch it. It's like, I think Back to the Future 1 and 2 is probably the best movie ever made.
Oh man, there was another movie that I just watched. I think I told you about it. It's a little bit more like urban and like as of present, but they do the same thing where they're making a time machine and they like see how their actions like alter the future.
It's good, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
It's a good show.
I'll watch it.
It's a little sad. It's a little like kind of rough, especially if like, cause it deals with like, kids being, like young black man being shot by the police.
Oh, okay.
Like that's like it's the.
What show is this? Sounds interesting.
It's a really good movie. I can't remember.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Yeah,
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called, and it's just like the sister of the brother who gets shot. She's very smart and like was already kind of working on like time machine and like the theory and stuff like that. So she's working on a science project.
Huh? Have you seen Coming to America?
Yes.
Oh, you've seen.
There's a new one. There's one about to come out again, right?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
I don't know why those 2 movies to me as a kid. I watched those. Those are my life as a child. Was Back to the Futures 1 and 2, sometimes 3, and Coming to America. That was
I saw Coming to America only like once, so it's pretty vague. But I know it's Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
it's great.
I can tell you the beginning of the movie. I know every episode.
Crocodile Dundee.
That's not a knife.
It's a knife.
Yeah, man.
And it's funny, like marrying Sam because Sam got the compliment that he looks like that man.
He
like
does look like that
Isn't that
guy.
funny?
Oh, what's his name? Oh man, it's coming to me. I can't remember. He does look like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never time I see him, I see Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, so I was like, that's hilarious because I like grew up on that.
Yeah.
It's really funny, like growing up, like not watching, like being influenced by older people in your life, what you're gonna watch.
It's true.
And I mean, I ain't mad at it. And I laugh now because my dad watches all the kid stuff. He did not watch the kid stuff.
I watch all the kid stuff.
He's like, if I watched the kid stuff, I was watching it in the like basement downstairs room by myself. If I wanted to hang out with my dad, I watched what he wanted to watch.
No, you saw we came in.
Which I ain't mad at. Yeah.
So you came in and watched some whatever the dumb shit was.
But I would watch like MASH and
God, I used to watch that with my grandpa, man. It was the worst.
like MacGyver, La Femme
MacGyver's the
Nikita.
best.
It's so good.
MacGyver was the best to me as a kid.
I worked with a guy the other day. My client came in, new client, and he works on the new MacGyver film set because that's up in Sonoya or whatever. And he's like, and it ain't it.
It's not it, man.
He like drives a forklift, and I was like, "How's the new show? I haven't seen it." And he's like, And I was like, "Yeah, he ain't MacGyver."
Oh man, that's tough when your own forklift driver's.
Yeah, and I really appreciate watching all of these things because it's the only like it was like my dad's stuff was like the MacGyver, the Jag, MASH, Babylon 5. He didn't like Star Trek too much, but I had seen some of it. La Femme Nikita. Wrestling from him and my dad, and like the 2 males in my life is where I got all of my like outside.
Who's the other male?
My brother.
Okay, sure.
So that was wrestling.
I love wrestling.
Like good wrestling, like right before like WDBE and like Raw and SmackDown when that all came together, and then like there's Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles.
There's this one guy that came in the office. I don't think I told. He didn't want me to talk about it. He was in WCW.
Was he?
Yeah, man. I can't. He just told me not to tell anybody. I'm obviously not gonna put his name on blast.
Big guy, bald.
I can't. He told me not to talk about it. So anyway, but like, man, I was just like,
it's like, dude.
Every time I was ahead, he'd talk to you, and I would bring him in the back.
I was like, let me tell you.
It was about. Do you know Ric Flair?
Do you know him?
I was like, dude, I love Ric Flair.
My brother used to hit the shit out of me.
He'd chop you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Ric
come
Flair's
around corners.
Yeah, Ric Flair's a personal idol of mine.
Like,
he's awesome,
Mankind,
man.
Mick Foley, that whole Cactus Jack, that same character.
Yeah, nice. That's
you
funny.
want to talk about like I
awesome.
have dirty socks in my mouth. I've had that.
It's awesome that you know who Cactus Jack is.
Yeah, it's all the same guy.
Yeah, I know. No, but it's different character though.
Different character.
But
I mean, whenever like the Undertaker, like when he was dead, or like whenever his face caught on fire.
Oh, you want something interesting? There's 2 episodes. I can't talk today. Too much bourbon. 2 episodes ago. Yeah, I mean,
I love stuff.
It's a little
Saturday.
bottle. It's a baby bottle.
It's a small batch.
So the next time I'll have to go. I always have to like, oh, we're gonna do a podcast. I gotta get some bourbon.
Yeah.
There's a fancy one. This is like the cheap one, which is I love this stuff.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it.
$23, man. Get that.
Us.
Yeah, well, you should sponsor us.
That and Hustle. We'll
Hustle, man. I try to get some hustles, and usually there's a whole bunch of them over there. They I ordered them on.
They're waiting for you upside down because you got to stir them.
Yeah, man. I ordered them on Instacart the other day. And that's the bag they didn't bring. And I was like, man, I had like 5 or 6 of them. And I was like, that's the only reason I ordered food.
It's like,
I just want the other stuff.
like I was getting my Hustle drinks,
Yeah.
and then I was like, maybe I should get other food too.
Yeah, and then they didn't bring it, and instead they brought me someone else's order, and it looked like they're making Italian food. So I got like green beans and garlic and like 3 or 4 different kinds of cheeses.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want these cheeses. I just want this Hustle drinks. And then
I kind of had a mixed package. I had someone drop off a package, and I thought it was FedEx. I was like, Sam, buy stuff. Then I looked, and I was like, oh, that's from Target. That's not for us.
Yeah.
And I was like, gonna be a good person. And I was like, I knew I couldn't bring it to the post office because it was a FedEx thing. And I was like, I'll bring it inside later. That bitch showed up and got her package. I was like, cool, I know how to do it. She knocked on the door. She's like, I'm not a package pirate. I was like, I can see that. She's like, I don't like calling people old Bettys, but calling someone a Betty, you got an image in your head.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Huh.
And I was like, I'm in my fucking robe. And I was like, you need help? She's like, honey, you ain't even dressed. I was like, true.
This is how I do
That's
it.
how I live my life.
You got like a spread of like berries and champagne behind
Yeah,
you.
it's like I was in my like moisturizing phase. Like,
I've never moisturized really.
it's good.
I mean, I'm not against that. That just seems weird to me.
Got to do it.
That's what they say.
I mean, like I said, I got a lot of information from older individuals that have lived in their bodies longer, and they're like,
I was about to say they're
sunscreen,
not.
moisturizer.
I was about to say they're not older, man. They just live.
They've lived in their bodies longer than I have, and they're like, put moisturizer on your skin. I'm like, done.
I got this dry spot. How's it going? Never mind. I had like a dry spot right here.
It's good.
I also have an X right there to remember to do something, which is the stupidest way to remember to do something, especially for me.
Like, I forgot.
Man,
I was about to ask. I was like, has that always been there?
No. I have all this technology. I have every fancy iPad,
Could talk to my fucking phone.
all my phones, and I'm just like, I got a pen in my hand, X. I'll remember exactly what that's for.
For sure.
The funniest part is Andre, my son, will ask me, like, Dad, what are you trying to remember? I'm like, I don't remember, dude. He asked me, he's like, why do you put the X there? I'm like, I don't know.
Someone told me to do it.
I mean, I used to do it when I had a sharper mind.
Yeah.
Man, you know what? It's just kind of weird. I've ravaged my brain through the years for unintentionally and intentional, I guess. So when I was, I don't know, I'm not going to put an end date on it, all the way through colleges and high school, almost a photographic memory. So
Never had that.
I have. So like I had 2 things. Like, that's why I stayed in school for so long. I had 2 things going for me. I comprehended things almost instantaneously. Like comprehension. Yeah. I'm a genius. Like
No, but that is like, if you want to get through school, that's going to be a good quality.
Yeah. So I didn't create algebra.
Yeah. But I got it.
Someone will teach me algebra. I comprehended it. It wasn't, I was rarely like, I don't understand X, Y, and Z. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
So I comprehended almost things instantaneously. You know what I mean? Very, okay, I understand. If I had a good teacher, okay.
Cool.
I got it. And I had almost a photographic memory.
Yeah.
And that seems like a stupid term, but like I can remember like in my notebook or what page. I was on page 17, the 3rd paragraph, boom. And I can see it.
I have more of a rude version of that.
Yeah.
It's like I can see it, but then it's like, no, you can't.
Well, that's how I am now. So that's how I got through. Like, so people were like, why'd you stay for school? And I was like, for me, it was a dream. I was like, I mean, I had to work and study, don't get me wrong, but I was like, man. So
school is such a different experience when you have that kind of like positivity.
Yeah. So it wasn't like I just read it
instead
and
of just
memorized
like
it.
fucking grinding through it the whole time.
So, I didn't read one thing. Oh, I memorized it. That wasn't true. I put the work in, but like it was easy. And then the comprehension was real easy. That was the easier part of the memorizing. So, you know, and I learned how to take tests. I just was good. I was like, I know what they're going to ask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just got good at the game. So like if you could be a professional student, I'd be like the MBA of professional students.
It's like, I know how to do that job.
Exactly. I could pass tests. I'm really good at it. Now I can't remember shit. It's gone. So, but in my head, I'm like, I can do these little things just like a little cuter. And then no.
Yeah.
Like I'm a different human.
Retrieval memory. That's a buzzword for me. So I can like focus, like it helps me like work on that specific skill of memory.
I've had too many fun times and I've had COVID, which was the new thing. And then my brain's jacked. So speaking of that, so like 2 weeks ago, I think is what I was talking about on there, my brain being weird. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And thinking different and feeling like a different person and stuff, which is true. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's unusual. And I had a lot of people like reach out to me and
say they had the same kind of experience.
Me too. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, the way you described it makes sense. I've never heard anyone describe it that way. I was like, yeah, I felt like a different person, man. Or like someone else took over my brain. It was weird. They're like, yeah, I felt that way too. So it's a thing. Yeah. It's weird.
I haven't encountered anyone else who's had that specific kind of brain change. Some people it's been a little bit like the fatigue has been the most common.
Yeah, but you know, who do you know this has been really bad? I had it really bad. Like
no one else I know. I mean,
you saw
mom,
me.
Dad, sister.
You saw me when I came back to work.
Yeah,
I looked like death walking.
that was different. Yeah, you were a different person.
Yeah, I mean, I walked in. I was like, hey, I'm a skeleton. What's up?
Yeah, like out of my family who got it, like my dad had it the worst, but he had like pneumonia.
Yeah,
and
well,
so like
too, though.
Yeah, so
that's
like
different. That's not your brain. That's like
he got kind of sick just in like the same patterns that whenever he got pneumonia the last time. That's why he was like, okay, I don't feel good. I feel dizzy. Like but I mean, even after just getting a bag of IV fluids and some antibiotics to take care of the pneumonia, like he felt better. But yeah, like their after effect has been like, I'm a little tired. I feel stiff.
Yeah, I worked out. Speaking of stiff, I worked out like 3 days in a row. Mm-hmm. I haven't done twice since I got COVID. It's still not back to, that's not true. If I do 2, I've never done 3. I've done 2 and then I'm like,
done.
Feels like I get hit by like a fucking semi. Yeah. So I did 3 and then I woke up yesterday and I was just like, oh my God. I was just like, woke up, I felt sick and I was just like, I felt physically sick. And then my body, I was like, I'm trashed. I've been sore. Like I work out crazy. I enjoy being sore. I'm about to talk about that. I'm just like, I feel like gravity went like, in Dragon Ball Z, they train in heavy gravity. I feel like I was
stuck to the training floor.
I'm like in heavy gravity, man. I'm just like, what is going on? I was like, oh, I did an extra day. That was
a cool episode. It's like staying in that capsule.
Yeah. Oh man, what was the train? Oh man, I feel like, man, I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in a minute. What was the training room called where they went in there and anyways. I can't remember. Where every day was like a year. Oh yeah. Or whatever. I can't remember. Anyways. Yeah. So that's what I felt like. I worked out like 3 days, and the 4th day, I was like, I can't do it. I'm tired. Yeah. It wasn't even like lazy. I was like, am I being lazy? And I was like, no.
It's like I feel cashed.
Yeah. Like I've been like doing these workouts for years. I'm like, something's wrong with me. Yeah. Anyways, so that's what's rough. Yeah. So that's still happening. I don't feel the monster in my chest anymore. That's what I used to call it. Mm-hmm. But they didn't take an X-ray on me. They just, when last time I went to the doctor, which was a long time ago, they just told them what was going on and what I had. They're like, oh, you have scar tissue. But they never actually looked at it. They're just like, we're going to assume. Yeah, which is fair. I get it. You know what I mean? But so I used to be able to feel like this tightness. I called it a monster. Like I don't know how to describe it. It felt like a golf ball with like tentacles coming out of it. Like it was just like tight in there. And there was like a mass right there. It felt like a mass. I don't know if it was actually a mass, like technically speaking, but inside of me is what it felt like. I don't feel that so much unless I talk about it. Mm-hmm. Now I feel it. Yeah. Yeah. But I used to feel it constantly. Like I was like, something's
in there.
Yeah. It's not muscular. It wasn't that. I was like, it's deep. Like there's something in there, but I don't feel that so much anymore. And then, what else? Everything's better. Good. Yeah. It's better, but it's still weird. I feel like I'm a different person. Like I'm like, oh, you got different soul. Your soul sack is different. Yeah. Your soul covering is different.
Yeah. That experience you have, that'll change you.
Apparently, I mean, why would it? I mean, like, I'm not talking about the cool hallucinations. I mean, like, my meat is different. Like, everything, like, it doesn't respond like it used to. Like, you know your body. You do things, you respond. It's like, I'm like, oh, no, I do different. Like, I walk in the physical world a little bit different than I used to. Yeah. It's weird.
That seems weird.
It is weird, man, because, like, nothing happened.
That was cool. I saw 3 is my, like, cosmic number. I can't get away from it. And I just saw it on 30333.
We just hit the Joe Rogan number.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, like, like an hour and a half in is when you really start flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I told you how, like, I'm a third born of a third born in the third hour, 3 S's. Like, I can't get away from it. Even, like, the day I was born, you got a 2 and a 10, makes a 3. In 1992, you got 9, and a 1 and a 2 is another 3.
There you go, man.
I can't get away from it.
There you go.
I'm not trying to.
One of my favorite artists, his name is, I always say Six Lack. That's not his name, but I just tell people that. So if you were to Google him, it's the number 6 and Lack. 6 looks like a B, so it's black.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and it's weird. He's from Atlanta, and he's one of my, if you don't know his name's Black, but 6 Lack. If you want,
how you're gonna
if you find him on
it.
Apple Music or whatever, Spotify, whatever you do, he is top notch music.
Very good.
Yeah, very, very good. If you, he's the music that I enjoy. Besides the reggae we talked about, like that's my shit.
Yeah.
But like the reason they asked him, because like he always saw the number 6. Like in Atlanta, like it's kind of dumb. It's not. Well, I shouldn't say it's dumb. It's saying it out loud makes me feel a bit silly. Like I don't know if you ever heard of people like zone 3, zone 6. Like there's zones, and those are police districts in the city of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel kind of dumb saying like people know what police district that they're
in and around, and the spacing of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time myself in like zone 3 and 6 or whatever. Not when I grew up in Jonesboro, but when I was like became an adult, could live in other places.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I get what he's talking about, but anyways, he saw a lot of 6s everywhere, and he said the same thing. Like he had these different like.
It's like I can't deny its presence. Like even in my neonatal chart.
Yeah.
A lot of people will have, triangles or like squares and things like that. I only have triangles.
What does that mean? Oh, 3. Gotcha. Sorry, yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Gotcha. 3-sided triangle.
I have it.
Let me see it.
Yeah, I have a picture of it.
Where did this come from?
The 3 or the neonatal chart?
The neonatal chart.
It was just something I wanted to look into, and like I said, it's something super easy. You can find the Debbie Silverman. She would analyze your chart and say what it means and say how it is now. She's really good at like charting of like the full movement of not just our planet, but planetary bodies outside of it and how it moves through the different zodiacs.
That's cool.
Like people get stuck on the zodiacs, and it's like you're not
zodiacs.
It's just the star formations of what we can see from planet Earth.
Okay, I see it as the vocabulary word. I just need to define that.
So
word.
like it is just a way of like how we can navigate. So like that's what I was talking about earlier when we first started. The like age of Aquarius is just it moving through like where the North Pole is moving. Like it just sits, and it has a cycle. So every about 2,100 and something years it moves, and it's moving now into the age of Aquarius, which doesn't have anything to do with astrology. It's just an astronomical thing.
I just learned a fact. Not that fact. I learned 2 facts. What?
So mine only has triangles.
I don't know I don't know what I'm looking at. Sorry,
So, like,
I see it, but I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah, like how the lines move and connect, there's only triangles.
Yeah. Okay, I see that part, but like. What?
Okay. So, and then let me just let me show you how others can look.
Okay.
Just so you have something to compare, I guess, to.
So this is called 1792, this bourbon, because it's named after the year that Kentucky joined the United States.
That's fun.
Yeah, learn that. Look at that.
So let me find one that has
Sponsor
some, like,
the show, bitches.
Sponsor it, man. You ain't bitches, you good folks.
Yeah, I meant that like
Bitches?
metaphorical bitch.
Yeah, the good bitches that we like.
It is weird. It's funny how words change. Like, it used to be that you call a woman a bitch. It's like the worst thing you could call her.
Yeah.
Then you call a man.
Some people have big feels about the C word.
Yeah, it turned into that. Well, back in the day, like, and then now you not now, but then you call a man a bitch. It's like the worst thing. Not the worst, but it's up there, right? It's not good. And then now we use the word in an endearing term.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
So like they can just be different. So it's just different about where different stars connect on the day you were born, how the stars were lined up on the day you were born. So they can be really intricate and things of that nature. And
well, I mean, why leave that a little bit?
Yeah.
That's just disrespectful to 1792.
So it's just,
whoa,
they can just be different.
I gotcha.
So for mine specifically, to only have triangles
3s
is just interesting.
It is interesting. Hang on one second. Is Andre alive? Andre, you okay?
Yeah.
I love you, buddy.
Why did you ask me?
Because I love you.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Check on him.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it. That was crazy. We were talking about like trippy stuff. It was like,
It's like, hi, we're here.
That was Mario Maker too. That's what game that was.
That was pretty funny.
But,
Speaking of Marlee, she's loving that freaking pillow you threw
man.
her.
Yeah.
You guys can't see her, but she's like half resting just her upper body.
I'll take a picture of it.
And
I'll
we'll put it on there.
I'll post it onto something.
Look how cute she is.
You know what's something I've done the past like 2 weeks? Nothing.
That's cool.
Yeah, like I hate social media.
Oh, yeah. I just been looking at other stuff.
Yeah, I don't even like looking at other stuff.
Oh, I was just wasting time, so I didn't study. But I did find out the stuff that I'm studying has like a read option to it, which has been what I've been wanting. That's kind of what I've been in the back of my mind. I'm like, why can't they read this to me?
I just texted somebody like, like 3 hours and 9 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Something I pictured. It was like a bourbon with this mixer or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm drinking some bourbon. And they said, I've never tried it. I was like, how you've never tried bourbon?
Bet we're going to. when I order
week.
bourbon drinks, that's how people don't card me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're
if
like,
you're listening
all
to this next week, I'm talking about your text message right now. I'm not going to put your name on blast. I won't do it.
But you should try some bourbon.
You should, man.
Put your face on here. I think it'd be really fun to have guests that were masked. Like,
you know what? I was going to talk to you about masks off air. We can do that on air. I have a lot of people that want to be on the show.
Yeah.
So for a while, I was like, okay, we'll do the show, whatever, and then like get better at it, and like
more people will be like, I want to be a part of that.
Well, yeah, well, just like there's a lot of like to it, like how do you like make thumbnails for YouTube and like what's good, and like for me, I was like, I don't want. I was just goofing around, like, yeah, we drink and talk. Like that's not the vibe of the show necessarily. Yeah. I was doing it to see if it was funny or not. But then, like, I always try to stray away from Dr. Odom. If you know, in the beginning, I never.
Yeah, that's not something you claim as.
It's not. It's not my identity, but like it seems to work well. But I feel like Dr. Odo and Sarah, like that seems to be like the so like getting better.
Oh, they got credibility.
Yeah, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. So getting better at like how you do stuff like that. Anyways, or like whatever the F was going on there and the computer and like, does this sound okay?
They're like, are we good in here?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So like you can't work it on that. But then I didn't want to do, not Skype, whatever, Zoom.
Yeah.
So everyone wants to do Zoom stuff, man, because it's like, we're going to die.
Like, no, come over.
Yeah, so I want to wait. I want people to come over.
I'll wear a mask if someone wants me to wear a mask.
Yeah, right. So like, come over, right? So, but some people are far away too, to be fair. But I'm also like, well, come down if you want to be on it. I don't, because it's like weird, like on Skype or whatever, Zoom, whatever it is.
Unless
like,
you have the really like right technology to be able to make that seamless.
Even the big dogs is weird.
It's not.
It's like they talk over each other. There's lag. It's like it's not a conversation. Like it's not what I want. You know what I mean? But doesn't mean it's not cool. But it's when I watch one,
it's like if you do want to be a guest, you can have the corner seat
right there.
It's the best one.
Yeah, it is technically it is the best one. So there's people that want to be on the show, but it all have to be over the internet. So which is fine, but it'd be weird. Yeah. So I was talking about that. People want to do that.
I'm here for it.
All right.
I'm kind of here for anything.
It's true, but it might be weird. So I was thinking maybe they could be like an auxiliary episode. So it doesn't mess with our cool flow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
it'd be kind of cool if we had like
episode
what they have on
1.5.
like Sheldon, like that robot computer stuff.
So people want to do that, and then people want us to be on their show.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's the best way to like advertise your podcast. Actually, is to
join other people.
Yeah, because you could like if you're listening to a podcast and you're like, oh, I enjoy Sarah. She's whatever. Yeah. Cool. Whatever. And you're like, hey, go check our podcast out. You're already a podcast listener. You know what I mean? So so it makes it a little bit easier. But everybody wants me to talk about health. And I'm like, have you listened to the show? Are you sure?
I mean, we want you to be healthy.
No, I do. That was the initial. That
was your intent. Like that was a film or a filter you'd wanted to dive into because you have that knowledge.
I still think we do, but I don't want to be pigeonholed by it. Like I'm not a one trick pony like that one person who was like, I want you to just drink Bud Light and watch. Yeah.
It's like, that's cool.
Watch football.
I'm not a one-dimensional person.
Yeah. I don't like Bud Light, but that's not because, but like, I like better beer if I was going to drink it, and I like football. So it's not like I'm against beer and football. So like, I'm not against that, but like
that's not your
I don't be pigeonholed. Well, I don't be pigeonholed by like a stereotype. Unless the stereotype is weird and crazy and like likes a lot of weird shit. Yeah. Well, then I don't think it's a stereotype. More of an accurate description. Yeah. But I don't want to be pigeonholed or like stereotyped and always having to talk about this. But like, you know, my spin on things, if we do end up talking about something about health or life, whatever, it is always like, even when I was just talking about like the people that want like fairy ears or whatever, like I'm for personal freedoms to do whatever you want, but my inclination is like, you're born the way you're born because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I mean?
kind of like your ear has a function.
Yeah, it has a function, and like, you know, from the best change from the inside out, not from the outside in.
Yeah.
You know, that's just my philosophy on life and health. You know what I mean? So like it comes out in other things like fairy ears,
yeah,
which I think is way cooler than talking about like vitamin D.
Yeah.
No, I like what
I can do.
I take vitamin D, so not to be hip. Yeah.
I just learned that D2 is what doctors will give you and it's synthetic.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I don't know what I take. It's D3 is the most.
D3, is the natural form of the D vitamin that you need. But D2 is like, if you go to the doctor and be like, you have a vitamin D deficiency.
Yeah.
They'll give you D2.
Yeah. I don't know much about D2.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know.
It's like you have access to other stuff, doctor.
Yeah, well, most doctors get
now.
that.
Look, I am not shitting on doctors. If my arm ever's cut off, I sure.
Well,
the
there's
fuck want a
different. So
doctor.
so there's different. So like here we go. Here's health.
Yeah.
Boom.
Don't go to a doctor for muscle pain because they're going to give you a muscle relaxer.
Don't go to a medical doctor for health.
Yeah.
You go. Oh my God, no.
For a medical emergency.
You go to medical because why do you go to who goes to a medical doctor and says, "Hey, I'm super healthy. Everything is right on time. I'm doing everything right. How can I do more of this?"
Yeah.
That's health.
Yeah.
So
that's not their intent.
Yeah. Well, who does that? But you go to a medical doctor when you're not in health.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? That's what I mean for. So when you're in crisis mode, heck yeah, man, go to a doctor, go to a medical doctor. That's what you're for. But if you want health care, if you want to care for your health and propagate it further, then you do something different. Go to a different type of doctor. Right?
Yeah.
But again, that's where I think we mess up in America. We mashed medical doctors at that.
With health.
With like health prevention and like take high blood pressure pills, your cholesterol pills is going to make you healthy. No, you're already sick. You're in a health crisis when you walk in there. Mm-hmm. Those are health crisis crutches.
Crutches?
Yeah, crutches. Crutches is fun, but that's not making you healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's managing a crisis, and there's a difference between the two.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's my thought. Boom, health and funnies.
Bam, we did it.
Yeah, I think we need to change the whole show. We need to change the name. We need to change the because this is not what it is. What it was.
How would that work on your end of internet stuff? Is that easy to get a new domain?
Yeah.
To just be able to, you can change your domain because you already have
I think we could change the name. Like the name could stay the same because never.
About your website.
Yeah, it could because never 99 just means like always 100.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think we put on any type of filters for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was like, you know, I mean, there's no.
What did I call it? Open-ended stories?
Open stories.
Open stories.
Yeah, like if there was going to be a more accurate, it would be open stories.
Open stories.
Open stories. Then go back and listen to them. Like, didn't finish that one. It's usually me. So, I mean, like, I'm not, it's fine. It's cool.
I mean, it's kind of fun, though, because it's like you shouldn't look to a single person for answers.
It's true.
I mean, you can get sparked and inspired by others, and then it's your job and responsibility to figure out your own.
It's true.
And where you want to take it and think about it. So,
well, most people aren't that mentally not lazy.
That's kind of like my whole thing. I'm like, that's cool, but that's your shit.
Yeah, go do it.
That's you. That's your
shit.
stuff. And I got my own stuff. I got to learn and figure out. And
well, I don't know if you remember The Office. I don't know if you're a part of these talks. I can't remember because you were like your own entity.
Yeah.
That we coalesce very well, but still different. I don't know. You know what I mean? Different.
Yeah, there was just times where it wasn't geared towards what I was supposed to be doing.
Well, there's also times where you weren't there because we started at different times. Like your first massage was at 9 and I was there at 7:30.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm just saying, so it's different. Like, so, you know, in itself, there was an hour, lots of time where if you extrapolate it over like 2 or 3 years, that's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time to have other conversations.
And Fridays.
To not be
and Fridays. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like you weren't a part of it. It's like you just weren't there.
I was physically there. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. What were we talking about before that? God, I got it. Don't say that. I'll lose it. What you were talking about. Sorry, if you say something, I'll lose it.
I know.
I think you were there. I used to always like just try to teach everyone that we have to do 100% of 50% of it.
Yeah.
But we have to meet the person halfway, but we have to go all in.
Yeah, we can't do their stuff. We can't do what their 100% of their life.
Yeah. What's up, buddy? Did it die?
Done.
Oh, we've never done a podcast where the switch dies.
This is our longest one so far.
This is the longest one so far.
I'm here for it.
All right. Well, I guess we got to end it. My son's Switch died.
Yeah. And that's how you know when it's done, because now it's time to hang out with him.
You want to come say hey?
Hi.
Hi.
I think everyone can hear that.
Yeah, probably.
All right, come check us out.
I heard it.
Peace out.
Never 99. We might change the name, maybe.
Not yet.
Not
So
yet.
go there and like look at stuff and tell people we're awesome.
Yeah.
Do it.
Peace out, guys.